Hello and welcome to the commentary for One Piece, episode 61.
Woo!
Yoo-hoo!
Yeah!
I'm Jason Grundy, the voice director, and with me is Brittany Karbowski, the voice of Apis.
Hello!
And Sonny Strait, the voice of Usopp.
Hi, my throat's sore. It always is.
I'm sure Sonny's voice is always very sore.
I carry lozenges everywhere.
I gotta stop talking like that. I don't have to do it today.
All right, so this is the very end of the nice little dragon arc we had.
Grandpa Ryu.
Grandpa Ryu,
Grandpa Ryu.
finally gonna make it to the dragon.
Finally.
The dragon's nest. Yes, that's what it was.
I love the dragon's nest.
Yes. So, Brittany, what was your favorite part about working with Apis?
Besides the money? No, I'm just kidding. No, she's really sweet, and I think she's a brave little kid. She's really fun to voice.
Mm-hmm.
I like how she can talk to animals. That's pretty cool. I wish I could talk to animals. I like how sometimes she can't hear it, but the animals are obviously talking to her.
Yeah.
She's really fun to work with. She's a cute little kid.
That was pretty weird working with, and it was just like still shot of a bird.
Yeah.
We don't hear anything.
There's nothing.
And then she responds.
Silence, and then she talks. And at first I was like, is she crazy? I don't know what's going on.
She communicates with the mental thoughts of the bird
Yeah.
itself?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, now that's communication.
Of any animal.
But what's really funny is that Luffy can hear it, and then she finds out that Luffy can hear it, and then later she's like, Luffy, you can hear that? It's
Yeah.
like, but you already know that.
That's been a running gag throughout this arc. That Luffy could understand the animals too.
Or that
not
she
the
has
animals,
horrible
just the
amnesia
dragon.
for an 8-year-old, right?
Usopp can't speak to animals. I can, though, personally, but not Usopp.
So what's been your favorite part about Usopp?
I don't know. I love Usopp. It's one of my favorite characters, but it's also the one that I tend to dread doing because he screams like every other line. Sometimes not even every other line. 90% of the show will be Usopp going, but other than that, it's such a fun character and such a goofy-looking design too. And
Yeah.
It just it lends itself to just crazy expressions and crazy sayings and stuff. I love it.
I actually, when I first heard Usopp, actually asked who played it, and I was like, because I just don't understand how you could do that and sustain it, because it would tear me up. I mean, that's talent to be able to scream that much.
Oh, no, it tears me up.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's cool. It's very neat. It's got a lot of color in it, and it's really cool.
I remember years ago when I first saw the show, it was a very Usopp-centric episode, and I thought the show was just about Usopp.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the adventures of Captain Usopp. That's what I thought. That's what they told me. I said, yeah. So it's about this guy with a long nose. And he finds these pirates.
Yes.
And he wears goggles.
His
and
quest to
suspenders.
be the
Brave warrior of the sea.
sea.
I think he's well on his way to that quest. He's
Yeah,
getting there.
He's pretty brave, and then he becomes a total chicken. Can you say no?
No.
No.
Chicken. He becomes a total chicken. And then he'll be brave again. But these days, lately, it's like he's chicken and then immediately brave. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then, like, Apis will be impressed that he's brave, and then he turns back into a chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're not gonna be.
We'll take him on, and I'll be right back here on the ship,
Yeah.
rooting you on.
And of course, Apis can't swim, and she's just jumping into the water, right?
Yeah.
Usopp's up there like, yeah, go ahead.
This is one of my favorite parts about this arc, though, was Eric. I really liked the villain Eric. He was so strange.
It is strange. That voice is strange.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
All the villains in this arc were pretty weird.
Eric the villain.
But I mean,
That's like naming a
he's
cat
good.
Philip.
Yeah.
You know, you can't have a villain named Eric, and you can't have a cat named Philip. Come here, Philip. Get.
Anytime we'd be outside of the studio actually talking about the show, people would think we were talking about Vale.
Yeah.
Whenever we'd talk about Eric, we'd be like, what?
The
What's
villain
going on?
Eric, and then everybody goes, "Oh yeah, Eric Villain."
Oh, yeah, Eric Villain.
He is a villain. Yeah. He has that weird long mustache that he twists.
Oh my gosh. I love the hair, though. The hair is just wicked. I don't know what to say about that, but I think Greg's gonna try it one day. For sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
And those thin glasses.
I know.
You have to squint when you wear those.
Right. Oh yeah, look at that face. Oh yeah.
So,
Look at Usopp hiding behind.
I know.
I'm right here behind you.
Yeah. I got your back.
so what's been your favorite moment of Apis in this little series that she's been in?
Oh man, I think my favorite moment was actually whenever they ride down that the big wooden raft thing,
Yeah.
like forever, and it was just like like constantly, like it was scared. No, not scared. Wait, you're happy. No, you're giggling. No, you're scared. Like it was like crazy. It was just fun to record. I think we just rolled and just kept going. Like, what can we, how can we make this goofy or different? It was really fun. That was craziness. It was. I went home doing that. Like went home like. Like this on, you know what I mean? Driving home to Houston,
Driving
like,
down 45.
everybody at every stoplight before I get to 45 is like looking at me like I'm completely psycho. Yes, I do talk to myself. Hi. No, but that was super fun part.
I really like the development of the relationship though between our characters in the show. Because he first is like, this is an annoying kid, you know, and then eventually it's like, he's there to protect her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is annoying, slightly,
Yeah.
but.
Which they're saying towards the end of her being around that she's become a full-blooded member of the crew.
Aww.
And, they wanted her to come, but she couldn't.
She's so honored. Aw. No, but it's kind of brotherly at the end between Usopp and Apis. It's like I remember going, oh, that's so sweet. Like, the chicken poo is being a sweet, brave man now.
The chicken poo.
Well,
You're a total chicken poo. You have to remember that. So I like the part where Usopp is a chicken poo, and then he turns around and he's totally brave, and he becomes chicken poo again.
Well, that's just all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's true.
Usopp, chicken poo.
Usopp equals chicken poo. Chicken poosop?
Chicken poosop. Just add rice.
Okay.
I'll have a
that
little
was
chicken
awesome.
poosop, please, mommy. I'm hungry.
You add rice and Luffy will eat it.
Wow, this is really good chicken poosop.
So, how was playing Usopp compared to other characters for you, Sonny?
He's his voice vocally is similar to Krillin.
Although Krillin's like this, he's pretty laid back. And Usopp is like this, like with a broken voice.
So it's definitely a test of what I can do. And it's funny because we listen to the Japanese first on every one of the lines, right? And that Japanese guy is amazing, And sometimes every time I hear a line that he does, it's like he's throwing the gauntlet down and going, "Here, top that!" American voice actor. Like, okay,
I'll give it a try.
Sometimes I think I do better though. Sometimes, but rarely. He's really good. And he must be like a heavy metal singer or something because he's always screaming. Right there, that's pretty subdued though.
I like how there's no chicks in this village. Like, this village has no chicks in it.
There's
There
a
is
few.
no girls. There's like 3 of them.
The chickless village.
I know, right?
I think we actually had Monica play the one in the village
The
that
one
talked.
girl.
The village chick.
Yeah.
The village chick. It was labeled village female. The only one.
You didn't have to put A either. Village female A. Just one. Just village female.
Female.
And then we have to say Abraham Lincoln. There's a lull in conversation.
Wow. Aww. Look at
Oh.
that face.
I just do myself.
And they're with the little guy that goes around fixing doors in the show.
She's like, nah, I'm gonna eat some buns. You guys go ahead. Yeah. These buns are really awesome. I really only cared about the dragon. I'm not,
We're gonna stay and talk to all the dragons.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait till my grandpa dies, then maybe I'll join you guys.
This show is confusing.
I know, isn't it?
So you apparently opt to stay around and teach several generations on how to protect the dragons, since they won't be back for 1,000 years.
Now, I want to know how the eggs are already there, though. I really do. We were trying to discuss this, because the egg's already there, and then the dragon dies, and then the baby comes. So is the egg empty, and then the dragon, like, magically goes into the...
Yeah, it's all magic.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I mean, that explains it. Yeah, it's anime magic.
We can't try and analyze it too much.
Exactly.
Oh, it's fun.
No, it just gives you a headache.
Oh.
Yeah, that's definitely one of those kind of reactions.
Yeah, forever.
So they're finally setting sail. This is where they say you were like a full-fledged member of the crew.
Aww.
You stayed.
She's like, I love you guys! I don't know what this art thing is, but I really like to do it!
Bye, Uppies! Your head looks like an onion!
Yeah, what's with the hats on this island? I still can't figure that out.
Onion heads!
I know. The weird hats. They're so fun, though. I would never wear it, but it's fun. I'd wear Usopp's hat, 'cause that's cool.
I'd wear it.
'Cause that's just funky. Everybody would be wondering what you did for a living. Like, I am an aviator farmer.
I think he's a tech guy of some kind.
Yeah,
Goggles
something.
that come down independently.
In case you want to look out one eye.
Oh, man. And Grandpa's talking.
Oh, yeah. I
I'm
really
not
liked
listening.
Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan was a great character.
Oh, my gosh, wasn't he?
Yeah. Bill Jenkins did a great job on him.
Oh, the voice was perfect. And he was so boring, and it was awesome. He was supposed to be, and everybody knows that, Grandpa, right? Talks forever about trees, and you're like, Grandpa, I don't care about trees.
Well, you should care about
Yeah.
trees.
You see, the thing about trees is...
I planted the first one.
Well, this guy saw dragons, you know, so...
Yeah.
And that bird's trying to talk to you.
Yeah.
It taught me what it means to sacrifice.
I love the close-up of the face being smashed, like... And he just farted.
Punch that dragon!
Grandpa Ryu, can I hug your bald spot?
You see, the thing about bald spots are that I created the first bald spot.
So what do you think about Usopp's progression as far as the story has gone? I know we've gone past this, and further on in the episodes that we've been working on, I think Usopp is beginning to make a transition more towards less of a coward, but there's still plenty of coward around.
I love like these redemption stories. You know, I played Bardock in the Bardock movie and everything, and that's all about redemption. And this it just gives people hope, you know. And he started out as this total flaky coward guy, but he had something about him that had character, you know, that he could build off of, and it's cool to see it develop.
Yeah.
He is becoming what he wanted to be.
And he's lovable, too. That makes him really lovable,
Yeah.
like that character.
Well,
'Cause-
otherwise they wouldn't keep him around, right?
Yeah, you know, but there's a reason, you know. He's fun.
Oh, and the Straw Hats are now back off on their journey to the Grand Line. Now that the dragon business is settled.
And we're halfway through this commentary.
There they go.
So what else have y'all been working on?
Auditioning mostly.
Yeah, mostly auditions.
And we've got tons of auditions here at Funimation. Like suddenly like 6 in the past week, I think.
Yeah, there's quite a bit, quite a few of those. I'm doing some Oron High.
Oh, yeah?
That just came out, but was doing some of that. And some Darker Than Black.
Yeah.
And that is super fun. And some Negima, the new one. I think it's Magister Negimagi. I don't know. Make sure I'm saying that right. Yeah, so we're doing some fun things. And auditions.
I just got cast in something that I can't remember the name of it. It's something Japanese, and I play a character whose name is something Japanese. But it's a great part.
Awesome.
And I can't wait to do it.
awesome.
It's Monica's show. Which is that?
No.
No. Ori.
Omni no mo.
Something.
Oh, wow, I can't
E.
remember it either.
Anyway,
No,
I play
something son.
Aminama and Omni no no. And it's a great part, and I look forward to going to conventions and promoting Aminamana and
Aminamana.
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 Manamana.
Look at Usopp. Look at this. Help. That's not repeated animation.
And recently you do these great posters that we have up here now, too.
Oh,
my presidential posters?
That was awesome. I love it.
I'm also a cartoonist. I spent the election day drawing all the presidents. I started with George Washington about 11 o'clock, and I was drawing George Bush when they announced that Obama won. I went, oh, cool, now I know who's next. And
Wow.
they drew the next one.
That's kind of historical in a way.
It was fun.
Yeah, they're really nice.
Yeah,
The local Denton paper wrote a story about me doing it, and it was pretty cool.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Man. Aw. Does he have a cup on his face?
yeah. Still can't figure out why he keeps his cup in his mouth for this whole scene.
Because he's goofy. Goofy Luffy.
Goofy Loopy.
Goofy Luffy.
So much going on in this show.
Arrows. Arrows.
Moving all the time.
Arrows. Arrows. And
Lady,
this is the...
you better settle down. I'm gonna put you in the comm belt.
I know, right?
So you were stuck earlier in the comm belt.
You don't want to go back to the comm belt.
Quite an experience with all the monsters.
So Jason, this is your directing debut, right? Mm-hmm. What made you want to get into the directing part of it? Because I know you've been like a technical side of this for years,
Yeah, an
but
engineer.
Well, I guess this is the debut about 30 episodes ago. But
yeah.
I don't know. I've always been interested in it. I wanted to do it back a long time ago because it was just something new and different to do, and I'd always been sitting there watching it.
Yeah.
So it was just a fun new thing to try out.
What was the greatest challenge doing it?
Trying to convey to someone else how to do what I would do naturally,
On your...
Exactly.
and just trying to have to describe that. Okay.
Do you think that you being an engineer before has helped you or benefited you as being a director?
Yeah. I'm able to, spot flaps and see other things better than just coming in out of the industry entirely.
Yeah.
So
Plus, you get to
that's
see how the
helpful.
process goes on a day-to-day basis. You already know what to ask and stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty much know ahead of time what'll fit and what won't and where to put it because that was your job before. So, yeah, I think that would really help.
I think it also helps to help sessions move along faster too, because you can go scrunch that by 190, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's efficient. It's a good thing.
Do you like giving line reads?
I try not to.
Right.
But I don't really
When you're
care
asked-
if I need to.
Yeah.
I'll totally do it.
Yeah. I always felt when I was directing, I was put on the spot. Can you give me a line read? Oh no, I have to act.
Oh, crap.
Okay, here you go. Say it like this.
I've only done the acting part. I'm always appreciating it. If I needed one, I appreciate it. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
So I have an emphasis thing. I like to emphasize weird words that like I love cake. Like, you wait, I love cake. So I don't know. I do that a lot. It helps
Yeah, that
out.
really is a help. If you want to try to get it yourself, but if you've done like 3 times or something, it's just like, what are you seeing?
Yes, it's
and
like-
if they just read it for you, you go, oh, okay, thank you.
And you're like, thank you. Yeah, that's
Now I
exactly
understand.
it. Yes, thank you.
I love cake.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, that's a nice raincoat. I'd wear that. Totally wear it.
I like this part where they're going up the mountain.
Up a mountain.
Yeah.
The water is flowing up.
The water's
Yeah.
flowing
About
up.
to sail up the mountain,
That is just, I would love to see that.
which Zoro just doesn't believe could possibly ever happen.
I don't know why. He's been in clouds that were seas, and he uses 3 swords.
Oh, yeah. Usopp's gonna stab someone with his nose.
Oh, so many jokes there.
I know I go for the easy ones.
Look how big his nose
Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. I saw a marshmallow man. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't want to touch that. Not into that.
He's holding his.
So do you wish that Apis had gone with the crew?
Yeah, I do actually. I think it could have actually made some cute storylines. She could have probably screwed up some more cooking.
And it would have been more money.
Yeah, that too. No, that has nothing to do with
No,
it.
but of course not. We do this for love.
Yeah,
but-
for love of the yeah.
It was just like when Hughes died. And people asked me at conventions, "Were you sad when Hughes died?" And I went, Yeah, I was out of work for like 2 months. And they're like, no, man, I was crying. And I was like, oh, I was crying too.
Yeah, I was crying.
I looked at
but
my bank
for
account.
Different, yeah, yeah. I cried when I saw my bank account or my schedule. Oh, I'm open all year. Wow, I don't think I've ever seen her so windblown, huh?
Yeah, smacks
Her
it.
hair.
No.
Wow.
And Eric stays firmly in place.
His eyes are squinted without the glasses. I need some very thin glasses. Look at my eyes.
I still can't believe how good Kenny was at this part. It was great. There was a part where we first got to him fighting, and he was going to use his sickle powers, and he had to make some weird noise. And I was like, I don't know how we're going to do this. And he just did something. I was like, that's great.
And it was perfect.
That's perfect.
You were like, thank you.
Jason, can you give me a line read on that sickle noise?
Yeah.
No, I can't
no.
make that noise.
That is not my job.
Something like,
Wow.
I don't know.
That's kind of cool.
That's not even what the noise is.
Now I want to hear it.
I know. Now I want to know really bad.
See what he did.
How awesome it is. Wow. I don't know about those mountains. Something about them is just gross looking. Aww. Oh, this is a cute show, though.
This is one of my favorite shows to work on, actually.
Really fun, yeah. Oh my god,
So
that voice.
this is a big part of the show. You know, they're just getting to the Grand Line now.
Oh, yes.
It's the entrance.
And they're going to ram it.
This is like the beginning of one of those big roller coaster rides. Oh, here it comes. I'm keeping my hands up. You keep your... No, put your hands up. Come on.
All right, when you reach the sparklies, close your eyes. Oh, wow. She's way too happy to be going upstream.
Still don't know why it turns into shards.
Those are diamonds.
Duh. Of course.
Wow, this is a crazy
Usopp
voice.
cowering in the back.
I know.
He's hanging out for dear life. And smartly so.
And now they're going down. Oh my gosh.
To be the world's best swordsman.
To find the all blue.
To be the world's best smoker. To be the world's best redhead.
To wipe my nose.
To smell my finger.
Yeah, yes. Perfect.
To hold my hat in place. Once again.
That's a cool voice.
I remember working on this part. We had to go back like 10 episodes and re-look at some old dialogues. It had to be the same again. It was pretty bizarre, but that reminded me, earlier in this episode, which we didn't notice, you referenced something from 30 episodes ago
I did?
that a different character did. That we had to work into the script somehow. It was that whole bean sprouts thing.
Oh, right.
Wow.
That's the thing about these long shows, though, keeping the consistency.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was one random line.
those ones that get through.
Yeah, we have
Show
a new
us those
song
funky
here.
sandals. They're always weird. Lots of Jesus slippers. Lots of them. That makes me hungry.
Who's that singing?
That sounds kind of like Caitlin to me. Can't say that for sure, though.
Yeah, it does sound like Caitlin.
Well, anyways, hope
Yeah.
y'all had a good time with the commentary.
Yeah, I did.
Thanks.
Yes.
Thanks for having us in your DVD player.
Thank you.
Yes, it's been great.
It was fun.
Yay!
Yay!
And everybody laughed toward the end.
All right.
Oh, wow. Oh no. Oh, he didn't. Oh, man. Oh, we're not done yet. So keep laughing.
It's been great, guys. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
listening.
Thank you.
Bye.
Peace out.
Bye again.
Giant whale laboon appears. I'm gonna be king of the pirates.
Hi, this is Scott Sager, one of the directors on One Piece. Welcome to episode 67. Honestly, not one of the most action-packed episodes, but it has two very big key moments in the One Piece universe. It is basically the first time that Luffy and Nami agree to take on and protect Vivi.
Yay!
It is also the very first appearance of Miss All Sunday, or Robin, as we get to know her.
Yay!
And speaking of those two characters, I am joined by both actresses for
I'm
Vivi.
Vivi. I'm Caitlin Glass. Hi.
And I'm Robin. I'm Stephanie Young. Hello. Good to be in here with you, Scott.
Yay!
I'm glad to have both of you.
Our fabulous director.
Woohoo!
We're going to start with one of the commonly asked questions that I know both of you get at conventions quite a bit, just to get the ball rolling, on basically how you became to be voice actors for One Piece.
Oh, cool.
So let's start with Caitlin.
Gosh, I guess it'll be 2 years in May from when we auditioned for the show. I don't know how I remember that, but I do.
It's been a while.
I'm weird like that. I think we were all really looking forward to this. I remember back in like 2004 when no one had the rights to the show yet. There was kind of a
everybody
buzz
was
about
fighting
it, like
for it.
maybe we were going to get it. When we didn't, we were all pretty bummed. So it was really exciting when a couple years later it ultimately ended up being ours to work on. So it felt like being given a second chance. I remember I read for Nami, and I didn't get it, and I was bummed, but happy for Lucy.
All right.
And then they had to cast the game, the Unlimited Adventure or
Yeah,
whatever,
which
for the
actually
Wii.
jumps ahead and casts quite a few characters we haven't even seen yet.
Yeah, so that happened, and we needed some Japanese approval on particular game characters because they were important in the show. So they had me do a Vivi audition and send it to the Japanese, and some other people also auditioned, and they did end up choosing me, which was rad.
Such a wonderful Vivi.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes,
It turns
yeah.
out I like her. I like being princess. I mean, Nami's totally awesome, but I can't imagine it being anybody besides Lucy. And then we did the game, and a few months after that, I guess we did movie 8, the Arabasta movie, and a year later, we finally get around to her part in the show, and it's really exciting.
Excellent. Stephanie.
Yeah, I remember, of course, the buzz, around the studio, and everyone was very excited when we found out that we were actually auditioning for it. And I remember going in and looking at the picture of Robin. It looked like a wanted ad, and she had her cowboy hat on. I thought, it would be so wonderful to play this character, but I don't want to get my hopes up too much. And when it all came down, and we actually did a couple of reads for the Japanese, like Caitlin was saying, they had to approve everyone, and they actually gave us some notes and then made some adjustments, and when it worked out, it was just really exciting. I was very, very thrilled to be just a part of it, and it was wonderful to work on the game. It's been great ever since to just be a part of this show that's has such a following, and it's been, it's very creative. It's hilarious. I'm always laughing in the booth. Even with a character as serious as Robin, I love everyone around her that's just bouncing off the walls all the time.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
It must have been weird for you, though, because when we started, we picked up in, episode 144, when she was already part of the crew. She talked a lot. I mean, I remember directing you and, talking about poneglyphs and large page-long diatribes from Robin about poneglyphs.
Poneglyphs.
And then
Corn pone.
Yeah, yes, that is how we remembered how to say it, corn pone.
Yeah.
And then we jump back to the beginning of the show, and it's like, oh, there's no Robin. And the show is very lacking in women for quite some time.
Yeah, well, and that actually brings me to my second question. Seeing as how with Caitlin, with you, we started with Vivi in the movie, and then getting her established, you actually know what's going on, where your character goes, where she kind of starts and ends, as opposed to lots of the other animes, and even in this show with almost all the other characters, where usually the actors don't know what's going on. They'll see little bits and pieces at a time and maybe have kind of a grasp of certain arcs, but you actually knew pretty much her whole character arc. What was that like, coming back and having to start over, but knowing where she's going? Did that change anything as far as how you approach this character as opposed to your usual other characters?
I don't really know if I approached her differently. It certainly was nice to know the end from the beginning. That is not a common luxury as a voice actor. But what's awesome about working on the show is there are very large sections and a lot of the details and very funny stuff that were not in the movie. You know, the movie's just about 2 hours long. So the whole section of her being in Baroque works, all that was brand new. And so that was fun getting to play, particularly to play Miss Wednesday, which is a completely different voice. And I was so sad that it only lasted like 5 episodes because it was hilarious. Personally, I loved doing that. So it was nice to flesh her out more, to give you more opportunity to see what she is about. And then there are some moments that are like totally different from the movie. Like, that's not completely how I remember it happening, but okay, we'll do it that way instead. But I remember really falling in love with her when we did the movie, so I was looking very forward to getting to play her again for an extended period of time.
All right. Before I ask Stephanie her question, I just want to point out the Unluckies.
Yay!
Mr.
Great.
13 and Miss Friday are two of my favorite characters,
Nice
even though they didn't
artwork.
say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually had like the sketches he did as my wallpaper while directing this whole arc for months and months.
And didn't you almost name your cat after one of
I
them?
did. I really considered. I got a new cat, and I considered naming him Mr. 13 because of
Mr. 13.
the little sea otter who.
Yeah, he's
Before we
an
even
otter.
record, he's an otter.
He's
Before
not a
even
cat.
recording, he just looked like a cat in a bear suit. We get the scripts and the translations like, oh, he's an otter. Well, that explains the seashells he has.
Yeah, it does.
So
That totally. We were like, why does a
We're
cat
not
in
so
a bear
bright.
suit have some seashells?
You have
mean,
to
I'm-
love the random characters in the show. It's just so
yeah, we still never find
interesting.
out why an otter is wearing a bear suit, a polka dotted bear
Yeah,
suit.
purple,
Polka-dotted bear
purple
suit.
polka dotted bear suit. Why
I have
not?
to say
It's
that
One
I have
Piece.
a warm place in my heart for all the banana gators, which
Oh,
haven't
in the
appeared yet,
future.
have they?
No, they
Not
haven't.
quite yet, but there's a spoiler coming up. We have banana gators in your future.
I have no idea what that means.
It's all right.
Just
I like them too.
moving
You're
down
gonna
to the
like them
otters.
also, audience.
The creatures, right? The creatures in the show, right? They're just very
yeah, and
original.
generally it's like, what on earth? Who came up with that?
Yeah.
They just kind of stick some animals together.
They really do.
and There you go.
So, okay, getting back to the questions. Okay, Stephanie.
Yes.
Seeing as we did pick up at 1:49 or something, Robin was part of the crew by then, like full on. She'd been with them for a while, and she was just a major part of the cast. What's it like going back and having to be basically starting over where now you're a villain, and we're introduced to you in this episode as cold, calculating, just evil villain with a mysterious power, because in this episode we don't really see what you do. You disarm the Straw Hats fairly easily with barely lifting a finger. And
Robin.
something that's
200
about
of
to
them.
happen in another minute and a half, which prior to today you actually hadn't seen.
I had not seen that. That was pretty exciting to see. It is bizarre coming in the middle of a show and not growing with the show. And typically, as a voice actor, I don't like to read the manga ahead of time just because I like being surprised when I'm in the booth. I like trying to give honest reactions to things. So I like to go back and then look at it afterwards. But it was bizarre to have this fully fleshed out character that was just a part of everything. And we know Robin, she likes to tell you how it is and give lots of exposition. She's a storyteller. And I love that about her, actually. But it was interesting that when I met her and I came to know her, I was somewhat familiar with the show, but meeting her in a position where she's part of the crew and part of the team and cares for these people, and then all of a sudden we flip back to this, it was shocking.
Yeah.
But it actually, I don't know, and I don't know if it comes across in the read or not, but knowing that she has good intentions, although
Well, that's the thing. Like,
the way she goes about it appears to be evil, but I've already
Yeah.
had this love for her, and then we come back here.
but yeah, coming up the first time we see her, she just after she's done this horrendous
This
thing.
horrendous thing.
Yeah. She just magically kind of appears on the ship and is just this cold, evil.
In one of my favorite outfits, though. It's too bad it doesn't
Oh, yeah,
last
the
a bit
purple
longer.
outfit
The
is
purple
very
outfit.
nice.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. The first time we ever see Robin.
Her arms, her crazy arms.
Yes, crazy arms.
It's a pretty good party trick, though.
I know. I know it's interesting when I
very
discovered
strange
that
ability.
within the story she was 8 years old when she first took down, a whole fleet of ships with these crazy arms.
Yeah,
it's
she's
such a
been
bizarre
wanted-
power.
Yeah.
Again, along with interesting creatures in this show, interesting powers in this show.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that is an interesting point, though, that knowing where she ends up kind of gives you just some more to work with internally. Because imagine if you didn't know that. Like, imagine maybe being like the Japanese voice actress beginning the show when that part of the story, her becoming part of the crew, maybe they didn't even know. So just getting to play this like true cold-blooded,
Yeah, just
ruthless person, and then all of a
killer.
sudden, oh, by the way, it's okay, you like them.
and you're going to help them eventually. So don't feel
Excuse
so
me?
bad about taking down that one guy. Yeah. Igaram, no.
But there's kind of flashes of it there when they're on the ship, in a second, and she sort of helps
Yeah,
them.
she's helping.
Like,
She does
"Here,
try and
take
help."
this, and you kind of wonder, now, why is she doing that?
I think it gives it just a tinge of warmth instead of just heartless killer.
But
Yeah,
it
that's
also
what
leaves it-
crocodile's for.
Right.
Definitely, and Mr. One and the rest of Baroque works. But yeah, leaving it open on, we'll see
Oh,
she does this nice thing, but they never follow through, so we don't know if she's actually being nice and really trying to
that's
help
true.
them, or because we do find out, if you haven't watched the rest of these DVDs yet, you may not want to listen. We do find out that, when they do get to Little Garden, they have like Mr. 3 is waiting for them and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true.
So maybe she's just making sure all their bases are covered, or maybe she is actually trying to help them.
testing it out to see.
See? Cold, calculated,
I
but with a
wonder-
nice hat.
Great hat.
I wonder what the advantage would be, because she seems like a person who does things because she can get something out of it. Not just, maybe she just wants to be nice to them just because, but it seems that she could use them somehow, and maybe she wants them to
Absolutely.
get to Arabasta sooner for some particular purpose. Well, we know she's looking for the poneglyphs.
poneglyphs. Absolutely. I think, if you think about it, since she's been on the run since she was a child, it's probably just how she operates. Just little stepping stones to get where she needs to be
Yeah.
to learn about her history. But,
And whatever her end goal is.
Right, the end goal of Robin. And an interesting crew of characters to join forces with. I would think that when you came across this group, you'd really have to assess them. It's great. Vivi, of course, powerful princess and kindness about her. But when you see people like, Luffy and Sanji and Usopp, these crazy folks, and of course Nami, which I think you're right, Scott. How do you feel? What do you feel about
we were
Nami?
pointing out earlier, it comes up again, that at the very beginning of the episode, we were kind of talking over it and didn't get to touch on it. When Zoro and Luffy are just fighting two, at least in what we've seen, these are two guys who have conquered anybody they've come across. And yet, Nami can take down any member of the crew just instantly.
punch.
Everybody respects her. Everybody's afraid of her. I think Nami is the most powerful Straw Hat member, even though she's human and, generally doesn't fight. She keeps all the boys in line.
Yeah, I wouldn't
know.
mess with her.
No.
No, thank you.
No.
So she seems to be more of the captain of the ship. She's kind of the woman behind the man, as they
Exactly.
say.
I like the way Robin's just sitting there with like her head in her hand. It's great.
She's in control.
Yeah.
It's just the way she operates. Everything she does, she's just confident. Everything's going her way.
People ask me this at conventions, and they're like, what do you love about Robin, or what qualities do you wish that you possessed in real life? And just that laissez-faire attitude and that confidence, nothing seems to get to her. And I do love that about her.
Not really.
Well, she's super powered.
Yeah,
mean,
I
she
guess
is-
if I had hands like that,
She's one of the weirdest abilities, but ends up being one of the most powerful, just the way she utilizes it to disarm and subdue anybody, or,
And I love the
scratch
fact how
someone's back.
the way that it's animated, there's this graceful element to it.
Even though it's really, really creepy.
Even though
looking.
it's really creepy, between, the petals that you see and then the way she calls it out, depending on how many arms
It's funny,
she
and
needs,
it's funny
those
that things are
fleurs.
like related to flowers and stuff. Even though I'm going to kill you with flower.
And apparently that's how she's supposed to have this fragrance, this floral fragrance. I did read about that she's supposed to smell nice too, apparently.
That's
so
news to
it's
me.
interesting.
Something to look forward to. Finding out more and more about
Little Robin
the
research.
perfume. Yeah.
Yes.
We haven't heard it yet. I think it's in a future episode, but you get to sing the closing song, and just the way she's sitting here, I imagine her sitting there on this ship singing it, because they even show her animated with some flap work in there. You sound awesome.
Well, thank you. Aw,
This scene
that's-
always puzzles me. Sanji magically pulls out a gun that, as far as I know, we have never seen before, and I've never noticed.
Yeah, he always just kicks people.
Yeah, he's very foot-based.
I
and
guess that
leg-based.
it wouldn't have looked right in this shot to have Usopp with a slingshot and Sanji with his foot
posing about to kick her.
Yeah. Actually, I wish they had done it that way. That would have made
Maybe
a
a bit
good
more
wallpaper.
entertaining. Yeah. But yeah, she just disarms everyone. We don't really get to see her power, so they do leave that bit of mystery again. I mean, we did see all the arms earlier, right before Igaram exploded, but
Yeah, but in truth, we don't know.
yeah, we don't quite know. We just
What
know
are
that
those arms?
she's very powerful, can disarm everyone.
When
you
do
know.
we find out what her power is exactly? Like, when does she start saying, "This is what I do"?
It's a while. She comes and goes a little bit, but we really don't see her do anything for quite a while. I mean, well into the Arabasta arc, if I recall correctly.
I mean, I remember an episode that I directed with Stephanie where she talks about it, but I don't know if that is the first time that it's ever explained.
It might be.
Wow.
And it's not even in that much detail.
Isn't it hard, Scott? Both Scott and I have directed on this show. He's done
Yeah.
more of it than I have, but it is quite a challenge to juggle. I think the most we've had is 4 people directing the show at one time.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, even like within an arc of like 30 episodes, we may each only direct 8. And there's lots to keep up with on what happened before, what's happening in your episodes, where it's leading, so you know, to keep stuff in continuity for the next director, because obviously they weren't working on your episodes, so you need to keep everything simple, make sure everything is planned out, well thought out, lots of communication.
Right.
Definitely.
All the-
And especially since the contracts that we work on are long. They're not just 4 episodes, they're about 8 episodes. So
Right.
you really have to, you feel for the people who are working on the episodes ahead of you or the episodes behind you, because 8 is already so much to keep up with. You can't expect them to watch the other 22 in
But
the
there
arc.
are those weekends
There
where
are those
you have to
weekends
watch
where you
all
have little
20-something
marathons.
to watch from when your last one stopped through what's been recorded or is being recorded, and then into your new stuff, and then the next couple, just so you know where everything's going. But the one just amazing, excellent thing about this show is the cast is so established and is so good that everybody's already done 100+ episodes, even now when we're in episode 67, that you can trust those actors to kind of keep stuff in mind. They're like, oh, that doesn't quite seem like what this character would do or how they would say it. And that helps keep the consistency going between directors. And of course, we have Mike McFarland, who's our line producer, who has the unenviable job of watching all of our work. Everything we do before we do it, and then after we do it. And he's the one who really has to keep everything in line.
Poor Mike.
Poor Mike.
Tough
Good job, though.
But it has been so helpful working with people like you two that you can tell that you've done, the research, that you're very familiar with everything and what's going on. Because when you're working on a show like this that has, these interesting characters and all these odd or unique names. Like I remember working with Caitlin in the beginning, and it was great to see your dedication to making sure that things were correct and right. And I know you do that in all of your work, which is wonderful. And it's great to work with people like that. But I remember us going round and round about poneglyph and wanting to make sure that we had it right.
Well, yeah, and it must be difficult and I know, since I've also, been an actor in the show, when you have 3 or 4 people working on it, and you may record with all of them in one week in doing episodes out of sequence. So it's pretty difficult. So I'm glad that we have some really veteran, hardworking actors who can keep it all straight.
Well, it's a two-way street, that's for sure. It takes 2 to tango, so it's been helpful on this show.
Yay. I think I record my last session of Vivi next week.
Aww.
Tear.
I know.
Yeah, it's sad we've moved
I
on.
love
and,
that character.
Like, having moved on, it's like, oh, there's no more Vivi, but it's like, oh, wait, now we get Chopper, and it's just...
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
it's
true.
sad losing characters, but it's also great that you know who's coming up and you know what to look forward to. But yeah, and speaking of looking forward to, here's a scene from Little Garden, and the to be
giant.
continued
To be
means our time is up.
continued.
So thank you for joining us. Thank you, two ladies.
Well,
No
thank you,
problem.
sir.
It's been fun.
It has been fun.
Thanks for watching.
Hello, this is Jason Grundy, the ADR director of One Piece, and this is episode 90 commentary. With me is Breno Palencia and Sonny Strait.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. I play Chopper, by the way.
I play Usopp.
So,
There's me!
so this is a pretty good episode. I like this one. This is where Chopper joins the crew.
Yeah, I
Yay,
like this one
Chopper.
too.
Yeah. It's
I was because we kind of took a Chopper break for a while.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
going back and recording the beginning of it, so I was. Oh, hey, I wrote the lyrics to this.
Let's just jam to this for a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I think isn't it Meredith McCoy who's saying it?
I'm not sure.
I think it is. I think.
Kind of sounds like her.
Yeah.
Oh, it's somebody.
Somebody that sings well
Somebody,
and stuff.
somebody who
Singing.
sings with us.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I
Alright.
was really happy to have Chopper back
Yeah.
and to do his origin story. The origin story, I think, is the saddest thing ever.
Yeah, every character's origin story is actually really sad for every main character. in the
Actually, what's
crew.
It's a
Really?
trick.
What's really funny is that I was like telling Colleen all about it, and I was so like I seriously told so many people about this origin story. People that don't care about anime, like my mother. Like I just told like random people because it just affected me for so long. I was like, it's so sad, and I was telling Colleen, and I went on this long thing like explaining it and whatever because she hadn't recorded it yet, and she was like, you know what my origin story is? I roll on in a barrel.
Yeah.
Nice.
Every character but Luffy, yeah, has this
Yeah.
horrendous backstory. And yeah, Luffy just pops into the show in a barrel.
Well, Luffy, he's just the main character.
That's all he is.
They already care about him.
Yeah.
Japanese.
I was happy I got this to direct this episode because I actually requested from Mike, our line producer, that I wanted to do Chopper's intro when it came up, and they actually altered the contracts a little bit, so I did get to do the first episode with Chopper, but it ended up being a sound effect, and all he did was growl.
Ah.
Yeah.
And
So technically, you got what you wanted.
yeah. But I ended up with this episode, and it made up for it because this is a great episode.
Yeah, it is really great.
Chopper is my favorite character in this show. I've
Cause
said that
he's the
before.
coolest.
Yeah.
Duh.
Everyone in my house actually likes Chopper best. I'm like, you don't like mine? No, yours is good, but Chopper's is better.
Well, he's just so cute.
There he is, so cute!
Look at him!
And he's sad.
He's a pink cat.
Aw, he's so deep. Just thinking about stuff all the time.
I always thought Chopper's flag here that we're seeing, I always thought those were supposed to be hoof prints.
They're
But
not?
I think
No,
as
they're the
you've-
cherry
They're
blossoms.
cherry blossoms, actually.
Yeah.
Oh. I was thinking they're either hearts or hoof prints.
So I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's Chopper and Usopp are the ones that scream the most in this show.
Yeah, unless
yeah.
there's a lot of fighting going on, then Luffy
Yeah.
can
Luffy
really...
screams a lot too, but I think, yeah, we get the majority of the
It's because we're
screaming.
we're the scaredy cats. We're just always
exactly.
screaming all the time.
Well, sometimes Usopp will scream just a casual line sometimes. Hey, what do you think about this?
You know? Yeah.
Okay, calm down, dude.
Well, Luffy does that all the time, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
The thing I like about the two characters y'all play the most, though, is y'all seem to have the need to prove yourself. Everyone
Yeah.
else is like, yeah, I'm a pirate. All right, let's go.
Right.
Chopper and Usopp are always scared of things, and then when they get in a big badass fight, you know, they end up screaming at the end, like, I'm a real pirate!
And it's like, wait, didn't you say that the last time you had a badass fight? Because, yeah.
Yeah, they always have to work the hardest.
Yeah.
Especially Usopp. He has no powers.
Yeah.
At least
good
Chopper has
point.
some powers.
Good point. Yeah, you're a loser.
He's a complete loser. At least I didn't go around telling my origin story to my friends at Bath.
Whatever, it was sweet.
Yeah, for a dork. So what's happening here? Oh, it's the lesson
Sanji's
ends.
being tortured.
Oh, good.
But
This is why I joined the show.
so, what's your favorite thing about playing Chopper?
Honestly, hearing I really I don't even know her name, but I really love the Japanese voice actress, and I love like hearing her in the preview. That's probably my favorite part because I think she sounds so cute, so freaking cute, and like the character design is just so adorable and it's so good. He's just cute. That's what I like about Chopper is that he's flippin' cute all the time.
I'd have to say the same thing though. The Japanese version of Usopp, that guy is an amazing voice actor. And since we now hear every line before we say them, it's like he throws down the gauntlet after every line. You know, top that, American voice actor. Okay. Yay!
Yeah, the Japanese cast I think overall is really good.
They're amazing.
Really good.
You need to complete your treatment. I'm fine. I don't even feel like I'm gonna die anymore.
No, that's good.
Yeah. No, he's not going to die.
Every time you feel like you're not going to die anymore, that is feeling fine.
No. For a long time, I couldn't figure out if Chopper was a boy or a girl.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then I guess it was pretty recently that we found that out in the show. Now.
Really?
In the origin story, I guess we find it out.
Well,
I think
what
I
is
knew
it?
that from the beginning. He's a boy.
He's a boy.
Okay. Well, his name's Tony, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tony Chopper.
Yeah.
I remember during the auditions, everyone was really thrown by his name.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Tony Chopper. So they thought he talked like this. Like, hey, I'm Tony Chopper.
Tony. Hey. Hey. I'm cute and shit. Oh, I don't know if I can say that. I guess I can on this show.
Yeah, like I remember Wendy Powell said that she really wanted to play Tony Chopper because she thought that that's what he sounded like. And then she was like, she came in to record one time on One Piece and she was like, what does Tony Chopper sound like? And so they played my version of it and she was like, oh, okay, never mind. I'm not so upset I didn't get it.
That's not me. That's not Wendy.
Yeah.
Why isn't that me? This is such a great episode. There's a lot of build-up here, though, going on.
I also like that in these auditions that we had a chance to hear the original Japanese before we
Yeah,
went into it.
that was nice.
Because it gave us a clue of what we could do and what we couldn't do right off the bat.
Yeah, exactly.
How's she talk with that tongue out like that?
He.
How does he talk?
I really want Chopper to like find another little reindeer and fall in love.
Wow, you are a dork. I want that for you
cute,
too.
though?
It would be adorable.
Like to have another, like, and maybe another one. Is it? Do we go with human fruit or people fruit?
People.
Yeah.
He's never gonna leave Usopp.
But wouldn't it be cute if there's like a little tiny like girl reindeer who who ate the people fruit and was like a little girl version of Chopper?
No.
Wouldn't that be adorable?
That's where the show would jump the shark. I think.
That's too many cute things.
That's
Exactly.
true. It would just be like an overwhelming. It would be like whenever Chopper left.
I mean, it's bad enough
Like-
we have Chopper. Just kidding. But it would be overkill on cute.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It would have to be
Oh,
like
is
his
that-
leaving story. Yeah, that's the doctor's hat.
That's why he wears a hat like that?
The
That
doctor
is-
just gave him
Yeah,
that.
the doctor.
Oh,
gave
that
me
is sad.
Yeah.
Reindeer guy.
I love his coat.
I like that Luffy is just sure that Chopper's gonna come with them. He's like, yeah, come, you're coming.
Yeah, like you're gonna. Yeah.
Everybody he likes has to come with him.
Yeah.
They have no choice. I really do want Luffy's jacket. I want
With
his
the one
coat.
sleeve?
But I want the other sleeve.
It's a little too hip, just one sleeve.
Yeah.
I'm a reindeer.
I'm a freak.
I think Chopper's a lot of people's favorites. It was one of my favorites when we started, and then now
You're
there's
like, as
so
soon as
many,
I heard you, then
there's-
I was like, I hate it.
Now there's so many random characters. I'm like, what is going on? But when we were first starting, Chopper was definitely my favorite.
Well, he's a really well-designed character.
No.
That's
Are
it.
you? What are you?
Cough drops.
Oh, cough drops. I was like, what is that noise?
I'm not sharing. I'm making a fire over here.
This is what we do. It's our special effects. We take little pieces of paper and put it on the microphone. That's fire.
Oh, it's really warm in here now, isn't it?
Yeah. Wow. Great
wow,
job.
That's amazing. Oh no!
Aw,
I'll
so
put the
much
fire
crying. Aw.
out. Yeah, I have to have cough drops like all the time because Usopp talks like this.
Oh, really?
And we just did, 4 hours yesterday? Oh, do that now.
No.
Come on.
There's a much bigger one coming up.
I want to
Yeah,
hear
there's
that baby cry.
I don't think I've ever had to cry so much for any character. Like he cries so much, especially in his like origin story, and it's really sad.
Usopp cries all the time too.
Yeah, but you're not cute when you cry.
No, it's sickening.
Chopper's just cute when he cries.
Yeah.
So where's the Stuck in a Dungeon come up? Is that coming up still?
I don't know.
That's a very random comment.
Yeah.
Stuck in a Dungeon's our little rock opera that we've been developing every time I record in here. I don't know how it started, but we started singing Stuck in a Dungeon, Stuck in a Dungeon. And it somehow made it into this show in an ad lib. And they kept it.
And it's in this episode.
Yeah.
We might
So
have
I
posted
wrote
already.
that, yo.
It's very
Copyright.
much in Usopp's character.
Yeah.
The lyrics of it.
He's just singing to himself.
Yeah.
I think it's coming up, right?
Either
It
that
might
or
have
we
already
passed
happened.
It, yeah.
Oh, we missed it! That's the only reason I agreed to record this today.
Stuck in a dungeon.
Gonna save the day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember trying to keep track of all these
I like
islanders.
those pants.
Oh yeah.
There were so many of them, and they all looked vaguely similar. And it's like, is that the same one as that? It's like, no, I think they had a bunch of faces, hats, and coats, and every time they needed a new one, they're like, pick one of each. New villager.
So what was it like for you? I know that you started out engineering on this show. What was it like for you to go from ADR engineering to ADR directing? Was it a difficult transition?
It didn't really seem too difficult. I had issues with trying to convey what I wanted the engineer to do without trying to just directly go this.
Yeah.
And so like having to still trying to figure that out actually.
Yeah, I would imagine that's hard because I mean, you had been an engineer for freaking ever, right?
Yeah.
For like how long? How many years?
Around 8 or 9 years.
Yeah, so you've had like I think your experience kind of outnumbers a lot of the other engineers here, so I can see how that would be kind of frustrating.
It's also an advantage, I think, too.
Yeah.
I mean, because this is one of the booths that go faster with recording because he knows how to all the tricks to make it sound good, even if it's not quite right, you know.
Yeah.
Well, and it's helpful too, like that you know a lot of engineering tricks because, especially I know for me and Sunny, like we don't like to have to do a whole lot of takes.
When you're screaming a line, you don't want to do it more than once or twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's nice when you have an engineer and a director that understand that and will do everything in their power to make sure that you don't have to do it more than twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually when Jason makes me do a line that I screamed over and over again, it's just because it sucked. That's the only reason I have to redo it.
In other places I worked with the director where, he'd get screams over and over and over, and I was like, their voice is gone, man.
We
Yeah.
still have 2
Stop
hours
doing
left in
that."
this session, dude.
Yeah. Gotta pace them. Pace yourself. Oh, I love this. Yes!
The man! Chop is a man!
Now you're a man! A man.
That's good, Chopper. There was some debate. Thanks for clearing that up.
Yeah.
We weren't sure until this scene.
Now we know. Look
Dude,
at the
I
chest hair.
totally knew. I totally knew the whole time. If he was a girl, he would be wearing a shirt.
That's
No,
right.
that's true.
That's true.
Yeah, that's
And
Disney
maybe a
rules
skirt
right there.
And probably
Yeah.
a bow on top of the hat.
Yeah, like they would have made it way more obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because you're cute doesn't mean you're a girl. You can be cute and be a boy.
But you have to have a girl's voice.
That's true. That's true. That's true in anime. Yeah.
Ooh, did he catch that?
No, he
No, he
dodged
dodged.
it.
Oh, I was thinking,
No.
dang, he's badass. He's got that axe here.
I like the Doctorine's motives of getting rid of him.
Yeah, what were they?
Well, she knows he'll be happier out there,
Yeah.
and that he needs to go do it, but she's still sad to see him leave, so she
Yeah.
can't cope with it on her own, so she instead acts very angry about the whole thing.
Yeah.
But it was very much the same as Sanji's backstory. They basically chased him out too,
Aww.
but they all.
There's a lot of chasing in this show.
They kind of chased Usopp
Especially
off
in
too,
this
really.
episode.
He left
Chopper
in
is
shame.
Chopper is just this episode. I think like the episode before it, he's just constantly being chased and just
Yeah.
screaming.
But
Look,
you know,
he is a reindeer.
Yay!
I like some of these earlier episodes with Chopper. They hadn't really. Doesn't seem like they figured out if they wanted to show him changing or not. So he just like runs
Yeah.
behind something and then he's comes out the other end changed.
Oh, is this the first
Yeah.
change?
No, he's been changing around before.
Yeah.
Here it comes.
Oh, finally, here he comes.
Chris Sabat calls that his coffee drinking role.
His coffee drinking.
Yes, he
role.
just stands there and drinks coffee. Okay, oh, here he comes. Yeah, that's good. Doesn't have to move around a lot.
Yeah, actually, I guess, but he kind of, well, but you kind of, like, both, like, I was telling him, like, he kind of earned his way to getting a long-standing role that doesn't scream all the time because he had to scream so much in Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball
Oh,
Z. and all
yeah.
that. But you did too, didn't you?
Yeah, but I only did on a couple of roles. He was like
Oh, yeah,
10
that's right.
parts that all screamed.
Yeah.
He talked about his hamburger throat. He come in.
That doesn't sound right.
I don't know if I can do anything today. Maybe just Vegeta.
He does his fair share of fighting. When he has to fight, there's a lot to do. The one who really lucked out was Stephanie Young.
Oh, God, yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Now that's a coffee drinking role.
Yeah. She's so good at those, though.
Yeah. She could bring in a couch and let her lay down while she does that role.
She could read the phone book, like,
Exactly.
and it would be totally
Just all
hot.
sexy and
Yeah.
hello and,
And
nothing
so-
like what I'm doing now.
And it's so funny too because I've directed her before, and she'll get so frustrated when you tell her like, "One more, just not quite as sexy," because she's not even trying to be sexy. That's just how her voice is. She's like, "I'm not being sexy," and I'm like, "I'm sorry, sweetie, but you are.
Pull it
You're
back.
just naturally sexy."
Rudolph,
Sorry.
tone it down.
What happened to Wobble?
That's a big old tree right there.
I like that it has a window.
Yeah. All the bigger trees do.
It's true.
You notice, you know.
Yeah.
Ones that are about 8 stories tall have windows and elevators.
Yeah.
Run by little, like, gerbils or hamsters powering the elevator.
No, let's not go too far with this analogy.
Okay, all right.
I think squirrels would be more logical.
No, they populate the tree.
That's true.
They
But I
have
mean,
lesser vermin to run their
lesser
their
vermin.
gadgets for them. So, Sonny, what's some of your favorite Usopp moments?
Oh, I really liked his origin story too. I think we all do because we get to really develop the character because you got tons of lines to do it with. But I like all of his scenes that he's with Chopper are when he's with Luffy. You know, it just becomes Abbott and Costello routines all the time. You know? So I really can't pick one. I really like the show.
So, Sunny, you have a webcomic going on right now, don't you?
Yeah, here's your 50. Thank you for mentioning it. Yeah, I'm also a cartoonist. I've got a webcomic going on right now at carbombscomic.com. It's about two 90-year-old rock and rolling guys who start a band.
Sounds pretty brilliant.
It is, I must say.
I've been a big fan of the lion, especially. I like the Kiss lion.
I have a lion called Detroit Rock Kitty who eats anything that is uncool. And he actually ate me on one episode, too, because I was talking about my knowledge of Star Trek. Yeah, it's a fun series.
Awesome. Do you have anything else coming up?
I've got a couple of things lined up with some major publishers, but nothing that I can announce yet. So
All right. So keep an eye out.
keep an eye out and listen right here. I'll do all my plugs on these things.
Hopefully someone listens.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully.
So, what was one of your favorite Chopper moments?
The origin story is seriously my favorite Chopper moment, and like anytime that he does decide to get really badass and he has to kick somebody's ass by himself, like and at the end when he is like, I'm a pirate, like I love those. Because it just gets so intense and emotional, and like ironically, this is as ridiculous of a character as Chopper is. He is the most like emotional character I've ever had to play, because you know he's a comedic character, and honestly, it is kind of funny sometimes when he cries. But at the same time, I believe in order to get that humor and like for it to really work, you have to try to do it as genuinely as possible. So even though it may sound funny to the listener, to me, I'm like, like really feeling it and kind of crying, like for real. So
I think that's why people like it,
Yeah.
because they can relate to him.
Yeah. Even though he's a reindeer man.
I like that he was also, you were typecast in this, because you know how he idolizes Usopp, and it's the same way you idolize me in real life?
Yeah.
I think that was cool. It's a nice touch, because you can hear the genuineness when she's going,
Aww. Well, you know what's funny is that I don't think you remember this, but whenever I first started auditioning for Funimation, you were one of the first people I auditioned for. And you were just sub-auditioning, I guess, for I think Mike or something.
That happened a lot, yeah.
Yeah. And you were like, hey, just so you know, even if you don't get cast in this, you need to keep trying because you're really good. And
I don't remember that.
I actually didn't get cast in that, but I was like, wow, like I did keep trying.
I will say this, I didn't say that to many people.
Yeah.
So that was genuine.
Yeah.
Cool, I'm glad you kept trying.
Yeah, so thanks, Sonny.
You weren't the one that came in late, were you?
No.
Okay. I totally meant it then.
I've had a marvelous life.
Oh, these are always fun.
Crying.
These teeth clenched tears.
Thank you so much, Chopper.
Aww. See, it's funny, but when I was doing it, I was like all teary and.
And I bet it gets an emotional response too when people watch it.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that it's kind of like you're laughing but crying at the same time.
Yeah.
To be continued.
And it's always to be continued. Oh, the leg song.
So who wins? What do you get if you win the race? What happens on that scene?
Oh, hey, I did the lyrics for this one too.
Hey, look at that. I think I recorded this one.
Really?
Yeah. I think I came up on a weekend to record.
Nice.
You did a lot of the lyrics.
Yeah, the lyrics. I think me and Mike and Caitlin and Vic are the ones that have primarily done all the lyrics for the.
What's the name of the family song?
Oh,
We Are Family.
We Are Family. The family song.
That title was taken.
We
A family.
Yeah.
But I liked how you sang every part for us beforehand, and then she would try to get like the male voices. Oh, no, 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 no.
Yeah, it was for the may not be related, but the song, the bonds we created is strong enough to call family. But yeah, I whenever I recorded the scratch track, I did like everybody's
her impression of every character.
I just wanted to make it clear.
We may not be related.
Yeah.
Make it clear that you're supposed to do this in character voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In case you didn't
But-
know.
I like that we worked on that song forever. I tracked that song, and we worked on it for the better part of a week, and then we saw it in the show.
You can barely
and
hear
you
it.
can't even hear it.
I know. And like Mike, he's a musician, and so he's got a really good ear. So we kept doing take after take. I'm like, it's Usopp. He probably can't sing in key.
Yeah.
All right, we got to wrap this up. Bye, guys.
Bye. It was nice.
Bye.
It was nice.
It was fun.
Hi, welcome to episode 103 of One Piece. I am Scott Sager, one of the directors on One Piece, and with me is Barry Yandell, Mr. 2, Bon Clay. And also with me is Leah Clark, Paula, or as it's revealed in the episode, Miss Doublefinger. Say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, what's up?
So
Thanks for watching our show.
you're joining us on an interesting episode of One Piece. Not the most exciting, but definitely a very, very key episode. In this one, as I said, we get Paula, who is the proprietor of, I've gone blank, Spider's Cafe, is revealed as being Miss Doublefinger, the second highest female agent in Baroque Works. We also get to see Mr. 1, Miss Merry Christmas, Mr. 4, and of course, the aforementioned Mr. 2, Bon Clay, who shows up with Entourage.
And what a treat that is.
It is.
I'm jamming to the song. Who's singing this?
Is this Brina singing?
No, it's not one. It's
No.
not Brina.
I don't know who sings this. We'll have to bother Mike about that.
That's not Stephanie, is it? Sounds like Stephanie.
I really don't know.
Could tell ya.
Oh, the fans are going to rip us
That's
up for
awesome.
not knowing this.
Way to go. I'm just here to make things awkward.
Good job, Leah.
Yeah.
All right, so as I was saying, this is definitely a very, very key episode. In addition to meeting lots of Baroque Works agents that we haven't gotten to see yet, who have only been hinted at, the Straw Hats finally make it to Yuba, where they're hoping to meet up with the rebels, where Vivi can kind of stay the rebellion, the overthrow of Arabasta Kingdom. Unfortunately, when they get there, they find not quite what they were expecting. She does run into Toto, an old, basically the father of her best friend in childhood, played by the amazing Jerry Russell.
Who was my acting teacher in college.
Really?
Just thought I'd share.
I did not know that.
You do now, and so does everybody out there.
Did he get you into this? Did you
No.
get him into this? Did
Neither.
You guys
It just
happen
happened. It
You
just
bumped
happened.
into each other in the halls.
Well, see, you guys. Did
He's a
you
pretty
ever think you would
talented
be
guy.
sharing a cartoon episode?
I never thought I would be so fortunate. No.
That's really interesting. I'll have to bother him about that next time.
He may have forgotten. I wasn't as memorable back then as I am as Mr. 2 Bon Clay.
He's definitely a very, very unique character. He's become one of my favorites in the One Piece world.
I think me too.
And
Very
it makes
excited to see him.
makes me very happy that now we're finally in the Arabasta arc. We get to see him more and more. We've seen him a little bit in the past. For those at home who have watched the One Piece movie, I can't talk today. The Desert Princess and the Pirates, we got to see kind of foreshadowing of what happens in this whole arc. I know both of you were recorded on that, and that kind of brings me to my first kind of talking point. Usually when you guys come in, unless you're a writer or the director on the show, you're someone more hands-on at the front end of production, usually you guys come in and the director will maybe tell you a little bit about the episode, a little bit about the scene you're in. Well, in this one, since you guys have already done the movie, you kind of know what happens with your character, at least to some extent. Obviously, within the episodes, a lot of that is flushed out a lot more. But I'll ask, you this first, Barry. Does that change the way you approach your character coming in the second time after some time has passed, but now kind of knowing where they're going to go? Does it, when you come in and start over, does that affect the way you read,
I think
the
it
way
actually,
you approach?
it absolutely does, because you have a little bit of a backstory. And a lot of people don't realize that just as the fans get to know these characters through the episodes, we get to know these characters as we are creating them. So I think whenever we do have a little bit of a familiarity with them, it does change it. And I think it adds for a more multifaceted character. At least that's the way it was with me, with this character, for sure.
Well, is it intimidating or just kind of, is it better or worse to kind of know if your character lives or dies or what happens to him, and then you're starting at the front going, oh, I really love this character, but, oh, I hate what happens to him, or do you just kind of want to see how to get there?
Well, since I primarily play villainous type characters, I always know I'm going to die. So I just assume that going in. I think it's both. I think sometimes knowing the outcome is exciting, but there's a certain excitement about coming in from episode to episode, having no idea what's going to happen. So there's a certain excitement there. So I don't know. I think there's good and bad to both.
What about
to
you,
know.
Leah?
You like to know?
Yeah, I like to know what happens. I think it helps me build the character a little more. I mean, if I know I'm gonna die, I might as well give it my all on
Go
here, you know?
on.
And I love this guy.
Mr. 4, played by Scott Hines. He has some of the funniest reads just because everything is so... Probably about a tenth the speed of Miss Merry Christmas. The fact that those two are paired together is just...
And here's Leah's character, right?
Yeah, that's me.
Paula.
And she looks exactly like that. They modeled this character after
They
her.
did. It must be the blue hair.
The blue hair.
Is what you meant.
So does that mean you're gonna, one of these days, pull off, the scarf and bust out a Cher outfit?
I do that every Friday night. What are you talking about? I love New Year's Eve too. Isn't she called Miss New Year's Eve? Oh no, it's
Miss
double
Merry
That is
Christmas.
Miss Merry Christmas.
Miss Merry
but
Christmas.
But Paula, isn't she double finger? Does that mean like New Year's Eve?
That
and-
basically means New Year's Day, I think, is how I was told. Because if I remember in the movie, there was a Miss New Year's Eve.
I thought that would. Yeah.
Oh, I hear myself coming
Here
on.
comes
Here
the
he goes.
entourage. We've been requested by Barry to watch this.
Yeah. All I know is I have an outfit for this Halloween.
This is awesome.
This is the best part of the episode.
Pretty shoes and mascara.
Dancing boy.
Switchfoot, and up,
And up.
and now leap away. Let's hear you boys sing it. Mascara and shoes and now tutu. Oh, dance away.
Oh my gosh.
I have to commend your entourage. I
That
mean,
was
when
brilliant.
they came in, me attempting to explain to them what they're going to have to do that day, it's like, okay, you're all kind of cross-dressing ballerina men who sing about mascara and pretty shoes.
So go with it.
And they were all just spectacular sports about it. They all had a good laugh, and they did it, and it came out spectacular. Like I said, it's one of my, it has to be my favorite part of this whole episode.
I wish I was in that part.
And Paula just called me a freak. I can't imagine why.
I know, you just busted in there with a tutu and some toe shoes.
And you ruined her sonnet.
And hairy legs.
Look, there's Wendy Powell.
Wendy Powell.
Is that Miss Merry Christmas?
Yes.
Yes. Who is almost as manic as Miss Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm really very excited.
And the quick little glimpse of Mr. 3, who, last we saw you, Mr. Bonclay, you were actually supposed to hunt down, apprehend, or reprimand Mr. 3 for failing at his mission to capture, destroy the Straw Hat Pirates. And here we have Mr. 1, played by Brett Weaver, who is one of our Houstonians.
Houstonians. Oh my gosh, look at you just spinning around.
Yeah.
I think they modeled your character after you too.
They did. I don't always wear that color, but I'm very fond of swans.
Kind of like Bjork.
Bjork.
That
Bjork.
Oscar outfit.
Oh, man.
I think that's probably the first glimpse we see that Paula is not quite what she seems. Gets an attack pose when the wall comes crashing down.
I love that a lot of shots are done through my legs.
There's nice hairy legs.
Suspicious out in the desert. Don't worry, I doubt they'll die.
Who's that?
Which are very similar to Leah's at the moment.
Yeah.
But they're blue.
Yeah, that is Mr. 1 Brett Weaver. He is, aside from
that's right.
Mr. Zero Crocodile, he is the most powerful agent at Baroque Works. Although Bon Clay seems to take exception to that, as he commented earlier that he has never met the person above him, and obviously the first thing he does is attacks him, just
attack,
trying to test his strength and see if he really is more powerful. And here we're about to, at least get a little foreshadowing that Mr. One is quite powerful and has some, at least finger-based powers we'll see coming up in the next few episodes. What exactly his power is.
Move, Miss Doublefinger.
I think this is like the biggest hardcore character I've ever done.
Yeah, coming up, she becomes a total badass in her fight.
I mean, just like her attitude overall, just like, I'm tough. Like, I don't usually do that for very long. So it's kind of cool.
Well, this is your second character in One Piece?
Yes.
You were the...
I was Kobe
awesome Kobe.
Okay, so here's the share look you were talking about.
This is the share look.
I didn't remember, but now I get it. If I could turn back time.
So, here we have, just several reveals in a row. I mean, like I said, this ends up being one of the very key episodes towards the climax of the Arabasta arc. All this is set in motion. Obviously, the meeting at Spider's Cafe, as Miss Doublefinger just stated, you guys are about to go and meet your boss, Mr. Zero, as you guys know him as, or as Crocodile, as the viewers at home have come to learn. You guys will get your plans for aiding the rebellion, overthrowing the government.
I just noticed that the turtle's
Bunchy
smoking,
the turtle.
or whatever that is, it's smoking a cigarette or cigar.
It's hardcore. It's a stressful day.
That is Miss All Sunday, or Robin as she becomes to know it. That is her big, huge turtle courier, all-purpose, big, massive turtle. There is Miss All Sunday, of course, and Crocodile, or Mr. Zero.
So she's all Sunday before she's Robin?
Yes, this is all set up. I mean, that's one of the weird things that, here we kind of recorded
Good to hear.
season 3 beforehand, so when we started recording, Robin was already part of the crew.
Yeah.
Chopper was part of the crew. And starting over and going back, it's definitely very interesting to see how everybody gets from being a bad guy, or where they come from, how they become part of the Straw Hat crew.
Like doing a prequel.
So we
I think
did
it's
turn back time.
We did. If we could
The outfit is
turn back
very
time.
appropriate for
That's
this episode.
right.
Something wrong down there, I can tell.
And here's, of course, Vivi, the lovely Caitlin Glass, foreshadowing that Yuba is not quite what it used to be. Which really seems to be a trend as far as this arc goes, and, the Straw Hats' luck as far as they show up to Yuba, which used to be an oasis. Here it's been ravaged by the sand. The rebels are supposed to be here. They've now gone elsewhere because of the sandstorms and Crocodile's influence. And it just seems to set up a series of bad events for them that, we come to find out. Most of them were actually orchestrated by Baroque Works, you guys, and Crocodile. And
It's Chopper.
Chopper.
Chopper's so cute.
There are little choppers hanging everywhere in studios around here.
Yeah.
Don't tell the other characters, but Chopper seems to be our favorite.
Well.
I mean, just en masse. I mean, we love Luffy, we love Vivi, we love Robin, but Brina and Chopper,
Adorable.
just,
I mean,
it's kind of the heart of, everybody has their role to play, and Chopper just seems to be kind of the pure driving force behind the Straw Hats. Luffy's very goal-driven, he's the captain, but he's very driven by his emotions and his stomach,
Yeah.
Whereas Chopper's kind of that pure embodiment of the spirit of the good guys, basically.
He's a reindeer with a heart of gold.
If you'll notice, it took me a while to notice this. Zoro was actually carrying Usopp. At the very beginning of the episode, we were kind of talking over it, and I kind of missed it. While they're walking through the desert, you just hear Usopp for a good minute or two just kind of in the background going, Zoro, carry me! And apparently he did.
The town was just hit by a sandstorm. That one certainly wasn't the first. After
And who's
years
that?
of no rain,
That is Toto. That is your teacher, Jerry Russell.
No, I'm. Oh,
sandstorms became a regular occurrence here.
I hear it now. I would not have. Okay.
Yeah, as we see coming up in flashbacks, and again, if you've seen the movie we've done, Vivi, you know, while Vivi was growing up, he was kind of a, you know, surrogate father of sorts. She would go out and play with.
Where's that? Is Kateria close to here, Vivi?
I'm just losing everything. Koza. Koza, growing up, who is now the leader of the rebels, which we find out at the very end of this episode. Again, if you haven't watched this episode, I'm very, very sorry. I have spoiled everything for you people.
Oops.
So there'd be a lesson to you. Watch the episode, then watch the commentary.
Yes, and spread the word.
And that would be Eyelash, who is played by the One Piece line producer, Mike McFarland, who I'm sure you're both very familiar with.
Who is actually the reason why I ended up playing Bon Clay, because he originally voiced it, and he just didn't think that he had exactly what it needs, and so my name came up, and so I owe my Bon Clayity
To the McFarland.
to the McFarland.
I'm going to have to thank. I did not know that.
Well, see, you learn something new every day. Yeah, he had voiced it. I thought it was pretty good. But they called me in and said he doesn't like the way he sounds, and your name came up, and the rest is history. So thanks, Mike.
Sweet.
So he plays a camel, and I play a dancing drag queen.
Well, if it makes you feel better. He does also play Buggy the Clown now. So.
Well, okay. Because they did audition me for that, too, so obviously he was better at that
You
than I
haven't
was.
completely kicked him out of the One Piece universe.
No.
Well, Mike
He's a
is
good guy.
responsible for finding my boy voice, too. That is used in a previous episode for Kobe, the
Well,
nerd.
there you go.
I didn't think I could do it. I tried it. He liked it. And I got a role.
Wow.
The rest.
Excellent.
The rest is One Piece history.
It is. And,
Nerd One Piece history.
and of course, if you watch One Piece, you know that any character, no matter how small, always comes back. It really, really
return.
seems like it. I mean, we've had, you know, they're on the Grand Line, all of a sudden they're like, let's check in on Kobe. And there's Kobe.
Oh, for a few months, my goodness. I felt like I was one with Bon Clay because he just kept coming back and kept coming back. And I loved it.
Well, I mean,
I didn't want him to disappear.
As you guys know, because of the movie, hopefully this won't spoil too much if the viewers at home haven't seen the
your
movie
volume
or the
down
rest
if
of
you
the
don't
show.
wanna hear it.
Spoiler
May
coming.
not want to hear this. But his copycat technique where he can basically mimic the face and body of whoever he comes into contact with just becomes so key, you know, trying to hunt down, posing as various members of the upcoming show, be they important in Arabasta or part of the Straw Hat crew. You know, him being able to basically mimic anyone he wants to, that has to be one of the coolest techniques I've seen in this show.
That's pretty cool.
Especially when I discover I can pose as people that are naked. That was shocking, I tell you.
It is, and we will see that coming up when you fight against Sanji, who is sitting there over on the left.
There you go.
And if there's any doubt that you people at home should keep watching One Piece, the fights coming up are outstanding. We have Bon Clay versus Sanji.
Oh, I would love to see that.
And not everybody can. What is it? Ballet Kenpo. or
Ballet
something.
Kenpo.
My moves are fabulous, and I practiced it at home afterwards, but I'm not quite as good in real life as I am in animation.
Well, and coming up, I mean, the pairings for the fights that they do are just outstanding. I mean, you and Sanji both are very kicking-based fighters, and just the fight coming up has some of the best choreography.
Yeah, I'm
some
picturing one.
great one-liners and some amazing
Cool.
visual
And we
gags.
get to see that here? Or
Sadly, no. It's
a future
the viewers
episode.
at home need to get
You just-
the next volume of
Wow.
One Piece. And of course,
It's
we
gonna be
can't
worth it.
we cannot forget
Cannot.
Miss Doublefinger versus Nami.
Oh, yes.
And we get to
That
see
is a good one.
we get to see what the mysterious Miss Doublefinger's powers are.
Yes.
Because she is definitely a force to be reckoned with.
Indeed.
And that's really the first time we ever get to see Nami fight anyone outside of Zoro and Luffy and just beat the crap out of them for being stupid.
Oh, which explains why she's, you know, a little out of practice when I get to her.
And we get to see her secret weapon created by Usopp. That's all I'm going to say. You know, trying to set it up, a big teaser. Stay tuned. We have awesome fights coming up. We get to see more about Koza and Vivi here.
Who is Koza? Who's that?
That is the
Is it Habercorn?
Todd Habercorn.
Okay.
And of course,
Habercorn.
Caitlin Glass as both young and older Vivi. I'm not going to say old because she would have hurt me.
Older. Just
older.
older.
Vivi.
Yeah.
Koza, I've notified all of our contacts in the other towns.
So here it is. Again, big setup for the rebellion.
What's to come.
Yep.
The time to strike has finally arrived.
It has.
That's totally Todd, yeah?
Is it
That is
corn?
totally.
Totes Todd.
No, but there's no other choice now.
He just has that nice, cool guy,
We have a duty to protect our country.
smooth voice.
Yeah, it is.
And he does a great job as Koza.
He's talented. To be continued!
And with that, thank you both for joining me. Thank you at home
treat.
for watching. Stay tuned. Because
Oh my
there's
gosh!
lots and lots of stuff coming
This
up
is
on
my
One
song,
Piece.
y'all!
You sing it? Is that you sing? Cool.
Oh my gosh, I hadn't heard
I'm
it yet.
jealous. What's the deal about? I want to sing.
Do it right now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm such a lovely dancing boy.
I'm such a lovely
How's that?
dancing boy. Mascara.
Mascotty shoes.
All right. One last time, thank you all for joining us.
It was a treat.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Hi. We're gonna start with Wendy over here. Wendy, say something.
Welcome to the One Piece commentary.
That's right. I'm Jason Grundy, and with me today is Sunny Straight. Say hello.
Hi, I'm Sunny Straight.
And this is Wendy Powell. Say hello. Hi, I'm Wendy Powell. That's pretty good. Yeah. My Wendy Powell's not so great. Oh, neither is my Jason Grundy. I'm pretty surprised. It's pretty good. I sound like Strong Bad.
That's a good person to sound like.
And welcome to the One Piece Wonder. That is amazing commentary from us. Yeah.
All right, so we're doing commentary for One Piece episode 114. This episode is the battle continuing of Usopp and Chopper versus Miss Groundhog's Day and Mr. Four.
My favorite episode.
I thought it was Miss Merry Christmas.
Depends on
You're
who's
right,
writing
you were.
I mean, gosh, you don't even know my character
I
anymore?
forgot.
When you just do what we tell you to do. My name's Grundy. Yeah, you didn't know my character.
It was a while back.
Right on. Miss Merry Christmas.
Miss Merry Christmas. She was a mole, so I thought of
Right.
Miss Groundhog Day.
Ron, you moron!
Ron!
We digress.
Wow. So that was a running thing during these episodes. Miss Merry Christmas keeps going, Ron, you moron, Ron. Why don't you tell us about that, Wendy?
Well, it's like having a fork scraped down the back of your throat. And other than that, you just have a delirious headache after about 5 minutes. It was funny. I was like, can I take more Tylenol? Can I take more Tylenol? Can I have hydrocodone? And then I had to go to rehab directly after this shoot. So
That's awesome.
yeah, it was awesome.
Codeine, then rehab?
No. But it really did. It hurt my head, but it was fun. We had a really good time. We had a very good time doing it. I mean, who doesn't want to play somebody that, digs holes in the ground with large claws? And it's fun.
What it is about this show that all the parts are voice shredders.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
true.
every major part is
Absolutely. Especially your character is
Well,
nuts.
except Nico Robin.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Stephanie lucked out.
Those are hacks anyway. Those are actually what Chris Sabat calls coffee drinking rolls.
Right.
He just comes in and drinks a cup of coffee and I'll deliver my line, then I'm going to leave. Thank you.
Yeah. I didn't have that. You didn't either.
No. We work for our money.
Yes.
The middle of the Arabasta arc. Yes. So, was there anything you found particularly fun about Miss Merry Christmas?
Oh, I love the whole thing. Yeah, I mean, it was fun recording with you guys, and it's always fun to do a character that you absolutely can't be at all in real life. I mean, it's the furthest thing from a human. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I was just glad, honestly, I was glad to be in One Piece because they told me that pretty much everyone's in One Piece unless you're just a loser. So it confirmed that I was legitimately in One Piece, so that was good. I was like, awesome, I'm in One Piece. So it really raised my self-esteem.
You were feeling like a loser before
I
that?
was, yeah, I was.
I can tell.
I really was.
I'm glad you got into it because you're not a loser.
Thank you, Sonny.
You're welcome.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. So.
Well, that was the only reason we cast Sonny, so he wouldn't feel
Oh,
like
right,
a loser.
right.
Oh, I
Here you
appreciate
come.
that too.
Yeah.
No, here you are.
Well, that's brilliant.
That's brilliant. Oh, here's
So what
Mr.
did you
Ford.
enjoy about this fight, Sonny?
I love that Usopp gets his butt kicked and then he still fights. It's like Krillin. Even sounds a little like Krillin. No, he has some major dramatic moments in this one. It was fun to do.
How did you two have the time to move?
Ouch! Ah! Did you smoke a lot of cigarettes before you did this one?
Mr. Four was a good character too. Everyone loves Mr. Four.
I'm hurting my voice. This is how I make my living. Save you this time.
I love the way they describe Mr. Four's dog as well. That it was a gun that ate a mutt fruit. They fed a fruit to a gun.
And it became a mutt.
Yes.
A mutt. Not the other way around.
No.
No.
Who's the one that's on the point shoes all the time?
The pointy
The
shoes?
little- yes, on his toes. He's kind of like, looks like a harlequin.
Oh, Bon Clay?
Yes.
Yeah, the ballerina looking
Yes.
guy? Yeah.
Who plays that again?
That's Barry Yandel.
Awesomeness.
Yeah, he's
I love-
great.
yes.
I thought you were talking about Chopper, and I was about to say, those are hooves.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
that's what I was
Wait,
thinking
me?
too. Four! Hold on! Little Texan there.
Oh gosh, what's new?
We never put a little Texan in our voices.
Never.
Oh, this was such a fun fight.
Chopper is my absolute favorite character.
Is there
on the
any
show.
particular thing that you liked about this fight sequence, Wendy?
Well, I don't remember everything about it, but I liked when I was going up in the holes and out of the holes. I
The
think it's coming
whack-a-mole
up.
scene?
Yeah.
The whack-a-mole scene was really funny. I think it's coming up.
Yeah, I love doing that
Yeah.
too.
When Usopp has his 5-ton hammer?
Yeah, that was great. And just that it just never ended. I kept going, so when are they gonna it was just like, well, no, we got a lot more fighting to do.
What was it Usopp said over and over as he's hitting the holes?
5 tons!
5 tons! 5 tons! 5 tons!
5 tons!
5 tons!
Oh yeah, Usopp has learned to use the holes.
That sounded suggestive.
Finally, I've learned.
Yes, there's quite a few things in here, if you take them out of context, sound suggestive.
That's true. Let's do that for every line.
Well, that's pretty
Right.
much anything.
Let's
Wendy
listen to each
Powell
line
says.
and then take it suggestively.
Kind of you to dig all these tunnels, really. You do realize, though, that you're not the only one who can crawl around inside of them.
Yeah, see? I told you!
Wow, it does work.
We just had to wait for every line. This would be a great drinking game,
Oh,
kids.
Oh no.
Although I don't think this show is actually for kids or slated for kids.
No.
What is its rating? I don't even know.
R, I think, right?
Really?
I think it's a TV PG or TV 13 or
Well, we're
something.
allowed to say some profaning words
Yeah.
that you can't say in PG, so
I think
think
I
it's
even said
13.
you
It's
damn
not M.
moron.
maybe PG-13.
Yeah. But
Certainly can
No.
say the word suggestively.
oh, it's
love
the
that.
5-ton
It
hammer.
looks like he's using a 5-ton hammer. What? Let's state the obvious there.
I love that giant hammer, and I love what it really is.
Mm-hmm.
Are we allowed to say what it really is? No.
So Zach directed the movie that this fight was also in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How was it different for that? Do y'all
Not as long.
do y'all remember?
It was a little bit more dramatic in the movie.
Yeah.
I think they had more time to get to build the
We,
drama.
and we did. I don't remember the mole thing at all. I remember
It was-
a lot of running around and chasing, but I don't remember the whole thing. Did
The
we do
whack-a-mole
that in
thing?
the-
I don't remember
was
that from the
I don't
movie
think
either.
that was in the movie.
What was the process like? Was it easier or different going through it a second time?
In
Yes.
some ways it was, because you knew what basically to expect.
Exactly.
Which is something that we don't usually get,
Yeah.
you know.
We had, we're familiar with the characters already, so.
Right, I knew how the scene was going to end.
It doesn't matter.
This is my chance to beat them both. I have
But
to
yeah,
take
it's
it.
a lot shorter.
Yeah, this goes on for several episodes.
Yeah, I remember I was like, it was so funny. You were like, I'm going to need you in for 12 hours. And I'm like, I can do that for 2 hours at a time. And that's it. I love it. Tara calls up, can you do 10 hours of Miss Merry Christmas? No, I certainly cannot do 10 hours of that.
I bet she's starting to get used to those kind
Right.
of comments. I would say, if I had to do
Look,
a 4-hour
I
session.
loved that. That was great.
I like the throwbacks to the rubber band. Doesn't come up that often anymore.
Yeah.
Hey, you missed me, so what's the point of that big hammer?
But usually after I do like.
Let me tell you something, Penguin.
So back to this scene. What was it like working with different directors on this scene and not just doing it over again?
Well, we were just talking about that. Wendy was saying that Zach's a lot more laid back. You know?
Really got into. You would laugh, and it was fun. And Zach is usually like that too. It's like
Well,
Shin,
Zach's
he's
very
like
deadpan.
that.
So he's just like, that was funny.
Yeah, exactly. So it was a lot more energy as far as like you really laughed at a lot of the.
Yeah,
things
you
that
could.
we
I
were
think
doing.
if you compared the two side by side, they'd have a different kind of energy, different kind of chemistry too.
Yep.
So, what have been some of your favorite Usopp moments, Sonny?
Oh, I like when Usopp stops talking. Actually, this, what I was saying earlier, this is like one of my absolute favorite episodes for Usopp because he got to, I mean, first of all, it really features him, you know, and it features what makes him heroic, you know, and also the heroics in his own mind, you know. And then, like, right here, you see what's really underneath that hammer.
My favorite thing about this is when I died at the end, when I'm just like petering out is the best.
Death scenes are always awesome.
Yeah.
Like that was the best. Well, something happened.
They don't get wished back though, like with Dragon Balls or anything. What was your favorite thing about directing it?
Yeah.
About this? Actually, probably Miss Merry Christmas. It was so ridiculous. Actually, it's probably the both of you, just because Usopp is so ridiculous all the time as well. And especially just the way this whole fight plays out and the randomness of Usopp's bones breaking and you see his nose break.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
And Mr. Four just randomly coming in.
Did you feel any pressure, like coming in after this has already been directed? Well, first of all in Japan, and then also in the movie. So you had to redo the scene. Did you feel like you had to stay true to the original, or did you felt you had plenty of leeway with it? Or
Well, I talked to Mike when we started getting back into the series that the movie included, and we tried to stick as close to it as we could, but it was obviously so different already that there was a lot of leeway to play around with. So we were able to change up quite a bit, and it was pretty much mostly redone. So.
Well, what about the fact that another company had done it before? Was that difficult to try to...
Another American company?
Yes.
Not really, because right from the get-go, it was completely changed anyways. The show was completely different. We took it back to what it should be, and originally how it was made, and the age group it was made for. And so there was the intention to completely change it anyways. So that was pretty much entirely gone.
Well, what has been, as far as the response to it up to this point?
Well, everyone seems to love it.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I hear nothing but good things.
Well, that's what we're wanting to do.
if you YouTube it, you'll see like so many comments saying Funimation saved One Piece.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So that's got to make you feel good at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you can't talk after the session.
That's only you.
No, it's
No,
not
it's not
only
her.
me.
I meant you as in the actors.
It's only you
I was
actors.
like, there was a lot of people that feel that way on this show.
I can talk all day afterwards.
Right.
I get to go home and talk.
I talk to my dog. I talk to my girlfriend. I think while I'm talking, hey, those actors can't talk.
I can do about 4 hours of Usopp, and then I cannot
Well, that's-
record the next day.
4 is awesome.
Yeah, that's pushing it though.
But that
I could
happens
do
a lot
too.
with so many characters in the show.
Yeah.
I have to get people to break up their hours. Even some actors will be like, "Yeah, let's book the day." I'm like, "Let's not."
I remember when I first started asking about that.
not.
Can I please have a day afterwards where I don't have to do it if I do 4 hours of Usopp? And I felt like such a prima donna. I'm like, am I asking too much? And then I started hearing like everybody had been asking that. And I was like, this show is challenging.
What's going on in this part here?
Oh, I looked away. What's been going on?
I'm sorry.
So that nobody dies in this fight.
There's another
No, this
rasper.
is this is them just trying to
I know.
make
So
Vivi
nobody
realize
dies
that-
in this fight. It's like, that's gotta hurt.
Stop talking like that. It hurts your voice.
They're making Vivi realize that they have to be able to help her. She's trying to shoulder all the
And is
responsibilities
Vivi
herself.
Stephanie Young?
Vivi is Caitlin Glass.
Caitlin Glass.
That's also one of the most moving scenes too. Is at the end when they all raise their bandaged arms up and everything.
Yeah.
This whole story arc is probably one of the most powerful ones we've recorded. I think.
Definitely one of the longest ones.
Yeah.
It's usually, 10, maybe 20 episodes, and they're out of there.
Yeah. How long did this one last?
So, way more than that. Oh, I can't even remember now.
Yeah, it was a pretty long series, though. Episode.
But wait, One Piece isn't done, is it?
No.
Oh,
No,
so
it's
it's
still
never
going.
going to be done, right?
They're still making it in Japan.
Yeah, never.
This
It's
is
going
it
to be
forever.
1,000 episodes long.
I can't wait to get to Usopp's alter ego.
Oh,
Still
Soga
waiting for that.
King.
Soga King.
There you
Don't you
go.
know the song?
Huh?
Don't you know the song?
Yeah, I do.
Give us a little rendition.
And don't we all sing in
no.
it at one point? Everybody sings too at some point, right?
Most of the
Little
time.
random songs.
It just becomes a musical after
Right.
a while. Yeah, I can't wait till 5 years from now. We're still recording it, and I'm like, I'm Usopp. Or I have to sign it because I can't speak anymore.
Was there any other role besides Usopp that you wanted to have?
On this show? Mm-hmm. No, I really wanted Usopp on this one.
Awesome.
Yeah, as
That's
soon as
cool.
I heard them, because this is one of the few shows that we actually heard the original Japanese
Right.
voices at the auditions.
Sure.
And when I heard Usopp, I was like, "Ooh, I want that one." That guy's a nut, and it's like every time he says a line, it's like he's throwing down the gauntlet, for here, top that American voice actor. Like, oh man.
No, that one came close.
Mole power.
Oh yeah, I like this part. This is
I
good.
do too.
What were you saying?
Banana. Over and over.
Oh,
over.
banana, because that's where she's going
Yeah.
for.
I like Usopp's plans that just don't work out.
Yeah.
Banana.
Was there any other added aspect that you liked about Miss Merry Christmas?
Well, can I say that about my boyfriend's name is Ron? Okay, and I'll just tell you. So when I left her, I was like, all that was I had was Ron, you moron, you Ron, you moron. And when I get home, I'd catch myself wanting to say it every once in a while. So that wasn't good for my relationship. But anyway, yeah, that was fun.
Do you ever hear stuff in your natural voice, like in your day-to-day living, that you say and it sounds like a character you've done, and you wonder, did I always do that, or did it just come along because I did the voice?
Absolutely.
Like sometimes I'll laugh like Krillin, and I'll go, did I always laugh like that? And I was like, wait a minute, it might have just happened later. I don't know.
You can't figure out which like chicken or the egg thing. What
Exactly.
happened. Yep.
Ron.
You moron.
You moron.
Oh, well, the reason I asked that about the auditions and the characters, I love Chopper.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great character.
Did you try out for Chopper?
I did.
Try out for my sports days.
Yeah, I did try out. Yes, I auditioned. But
Yeah.
Brina's amazing. And, it's funny because whenever you see the end result of any show, you can always see that it is the way it was supposed to be when it all comes together. Because we don't record in the booth at the same time. So we don't really see all of the show together till it's out, you
Right.
know? And it's amazing what the finished product looks like, and you understand.
Yeah, we definitely got a solid cast with this one.
Absolutely.
This one was cast also by the Japanese, right? I
Yeah.
mean, the final selection, or we had the final.
We sent them options,
yeah,
and they picked.
They did
They
have
picked
to,
from our options.
Right.
How many options did we send them for each character?
I think 5.
It varied.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause I was the one actually. I was engineering at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and I recorded those auditions. And then it was me up at the old building in the middle of the night, contacting the Japanese FTP server and actually pushing the files over there myself.
Wow.
And so there was it varied quite a bit. Some were even down to one, and it was like, we only really have one good one, so how's this? And they're like, okay.
What do you want, cheese and macaroni or macaroni and cheese? Because this is what we got, kids.
So they took your 5 or whatever number, and then they decide from those 5 who they're going to pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it came back and forth a few times, actually, where they go,
How many times do
this
I
one's
do
all
this
right,
to
but-
you? Now it's Molehill Highway. It's it's constant.
several times.
Yes.
It's fun.
Now you're going to go into the wall.
The reason I asked that is because that's what I had heard, and I started telling this story at conventions. And then I started seeing blogs where people were saying, oh, and Sunny Straight went into a story about how the Japanese cast him and everything. And I went, but I think they did.
Yeah.
Well, and we have a lot of shows like that need to get approval for, you know. Shin was like that.
Yeah.
And Full Metal was like that. There's quite a few shows that have to get their stamp of approval.
Yeah, the other places I've worked, it happens quite often there too. Usually, actually, at other places I had worked, the Japanese director, the original director, would come to Texas and just watch the auditions with us.
That has happened to me at Sabbath Studio, where they would be. I love it when they mute you. And then they're like, blah, 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 blah. You see that go on for a while, and then like, yeah, could you do it again except for completely different? Mute. It's like if you know what's going on. That's nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mute button for the director is the most nerve-wracking thing for an actor. So you do your line, and they go, click, and you're nothing but silence, maybe some faint laughing.
That's always good for yourself.
And then they come back, and they go, okay, let's try it again.
That's funny. The sweet, sweet mute button.
So is this a 20-minute episode?
Yeah, they're all the same.
I'm about to wrap it up there.
They're all the same.
It goes a little past 20.
Oh, okay. Then I'm not going to end it now. Thank you for coming, and thank you for listening.
You got to go back.
I'm Jason Grundy.
And I'm Sunny Straight.
I'm Wendy Powell. You sound like Jason Grundy, and I don't listen.
Yeah, we have a little song around here.
Oh,
we
we're gonna
sing
do the
about
song?
Wendy Powell not listening. No, we can't sing the song.
Okay, good.
We have another song about being stuck in a dungeon, but that's another.
Yeah, that's a whole nother deal.
Yeah. Stuck in
Wendy Powell doesn't listen.
She's stuck in a dungeon.
The Stuck in a Dungeon song. Kyle has no idea what we're talking about. Kyle is our engineer today. You can't hear him.
He is with us, though.
Yes.
In spirit.
Oh no, the Rumble
So
Ball. Usopp's
This is
finally
not
chickening out.
Not his finest moment here.
Running away from them isn't going to do any good, don't you see?
So during this, we have everyone else doing their own little fights. So I like that they paired up for everyone having their own individual fights along the city. I like that they paired up Chopper and Usopp for a fight.
Yeah.
The two wussy characters.
They do pretty good.
Yeah.
They hold their own.
I like that her sunglasses have eyelashes.
Yeah, absolutely. And the lips. I mean, she's just hideous. She really is.
Gotta like that hair,
her big
though.
purple lipstick, her fro. It's all
And
good.
Those nails are nice.
Yeah, she has a great nail tech.
And the headband's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The green headband.
It's ridiculous.
Wonder how much punishment Usopp can take before he actually dies.
He could take a lot of punishment.
He's resilient.
That's his superpower. He can
Resilient.
take the licking and keep on ticking.
He's Rambo.
Yeah. And here are the credits.
I don't remember this closing theme. It's a very poppy one.
I don't think I ever saw
cannot listen.
It changes pretty frequently.
Okay. So the whole
I believe that's Caitlin
the
Glass
whole
singing.
petered out thing doesn't happen in this episode. The one that goes.
No.
Oh, I love that.
I picked this one because it had
That's great.
a lot of the fight, and it had the hammer and the banana. And
But you guys need to watch the one where Miss Merry Christmas peters out.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
should be the episode after this one.
All right.
It's really funny.
Just keep watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't be commenting on it though.
No, we're done commenting.
But you did hear a comment about it.
So we almost did.
Just
It's like
remember
virtual
it.
comment.
Exactly. Preemptive commenting.
So Wendy Powell's let it out of the bag.
Sorry.
That she loses the fight.
I love it. Nobody dies in
Actually,
One Piece.
Usopp wins, believe it or not.
Nobody has. Jim never has a second cup of coffee at home. Yeah, of course. This has been fun.
We're coming to the end of our commentary here. Is there anything else I would like to say? You got
Yes,
a
this
little
went
bit of
a
time.
little bit longer than 20 minutes.
I told you it'd go over.
We appreciate you watching, and thanks for all of the support from you guys.
I'm Jason Grundy, and please listen to our next commentary, which will be about the conclusion to this exciting episode that you just watched now with Wendy Powell and Sunny Street and Caitlin Glass singing the credits.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
All right, welcome to One Piece episode 119. My name is Scott Sager. I'm the director here. And with me is Christopher Sabat, who plays Zoro, and Brett Weaver, who is Mr. One. Say hi, guys.
Hi. Hi. It's kind of awkward because we're like sort of sitting behind Scott right now.
Yeah.
And he's sort of facing away from us, so.
Don't like the fact that I can't see Sabat.
It's okay. It's been 4 months.
Can I put my hand on your shoulder?
Please do. It's been longer for me.
Brett beat me to it.
Sorry. I just go with it. That's what I try to do.
All right. You guys have tuned in for a action-packed episode of One Piece. As you see from the recap, we're dead in the middle of pretty much all the fightings with the Straw Hats and Baroque Works.
Wait, what character is that?
Right now, like on screen, you will see Nami, who is played by Lucy Christian, fighting Miss Doublefinger, played by Miss Leah Clark. Prior to that, you got to see little clips of the fights with Sanji, Eric Vale, fighting Mr. 2 Bong Clay, who is played by Barry Yandel, who, for those of you who actually listen to these commentaries, will recognize for the last commentary I did. And, of course, the very first one we showed was the big four-person brawl with Chopper and Usopp, who is Brina Palencia and Sunny Straight, tag teaming up against Mr. 4 and Miss Merry Christmas, played by Scott Hines and Wendy Powell. And that pretty much gets us caught up to the big marquee fight leading up to the upcoming Crocodile and Luffy. And this, of course, is Zoro versus Mr. 1.
Oh, that's me.
And
That's
me.
not me. That's you.
That's actually me, but that's cool.
And no, but I was saying
That guy,
Mr.
yeah.
One.
See, you're like rattling off all those character names. That's the thing that's crazy about this show. Like, your character has almost his own little path through this show, and so everybody else, all these other characters, you hardly ever get to meet.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. There's Mr. 2. I know that there's a couple of episodes with him, and
it's like when you fight, you kind of, when these characters have their own like little interactions, and everyone else seems to be doing their own thing. I'm usually, with Luffy either with Usopp. It just depends. And there's several episodes with Zoro or a lot of episodes where he's just like doing, push-ups just on one finger or lifting rocks with his.
Or just, going off on his own path.
Yeah.
And one of the things that lots of people are surprised to find out about dubbing that is different from prelay, where they record prior to, is we record pretty much every actor individually. A lot of our actors may share lots of scenes, but we have people who've been working here for years who have never met the person they're acting across from.
Mm-hmm.
I know you two have met before.
Yeah.
Yeah, but only like once or twice.
Yeah.
We met in
Alaska.
Yeah. Weird. We just happened to be there.
I was going to... you got to explain.
Well, there's the first... what was that? What was
Aurora Con.
Aurora Con. We were both invited up, and we're like, yeah, let's go. And and we met just before opening ceremonies, and
I remember I was like, I'm gonna like this guy because he went up there. He's like, "Are you guys having fun yet?" And everyone's like, "Yeah."
No,
He goes,
no.
Are you guys having fun yet?
No, I did not say that. Actually, it was we had just met, and I said to him, I was like, "Don't you hate it when people go, 'Are you having fun?'" No, let me ask you again. And he's like, "Yeah, I hate that." And so then he goes out first. And he goes, "Brett Weaver wants to know, are you having fun?" And then I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, and he did it again. And I'm up in the back, I'm in the backstage going, "You son of a god!" Very funny.
Oh, sorry. So we met each other in Oregon in Alaska.
And then went to the pub and saw a transvestite Inuit crackhead.
Oh, yeah. Just another one of the transvestites I met.
All right, let's get back to One Piece more. All right. As you guys are watching, I picked this episode because it shows kind of the contrasts in One Piece. It has your typical I gotta say, one of the badass fights that we have, and this show is just ripe with fighting. You know, when you have people like Sanji and Zoro and Luffy, you're just bound to have good fights. And here we have two, you can't really call them two swordsmen. I mean, they're two characters who fight with blades. But one of the things they get into, as Mr. One likes saying that he's not a swordsman, he's not an excavator when Zoro brings that up as making fun of him. He's an assassin. And he has one of the coolest powers, like at least the devil fruit powers that I've seen in the show, with being able to transform any part of his body into a blade. And Brett, that's gonna be one of the coolest characters you've ever played, at least that I know of.
Sure.
I mean,
I would just wish that he would live longer so that I could play him more.
Yeah, unfortunately, well, and that's kind of the other thing with both of these characters is your guy is more seen than heard. I mean, this character's been around for, 20, I don't even know how long this arc's been going on. And he's kind of been there in the background. You'll see him every once in a while. He just doesn't say much. And, I'm sure, don't know if you've had a chance to sit back and watch all these episodes you've done, but your character's actually there quite a bit. And you'll come in and record every once in a while, and we'll just blow through so many episodes just because he doesn't say much. And Chris's character as well, Zoro, he's always with all the Straw Hats. It's just same thing. He just doesn't say that much.
Yeah, I've always joked about the fact that Zoro is like the best character to play in One Piece because I get to still ride the boat, but I don't have to do as much.
Yeah, and I have to make sure that when I go to conventions that I do mention, "Oh, I'm Mr. One." Everybody's like, "Yay!" I'm like, I've had 12 lines, but glad you liked it.
Well, I mean, what does that do for you guys coming in with those characters? Do you prefer characters like that? Obviously, it's not as good for your pocketbook, but it's characters like that you show up and you only have a couple lines. Those lines tend to have a lot more weight to them, and you get to just show off that character in just those little concise lines. Do you prefer that, or is that just more of a challenge?
Well, I get a lot of characters like that, tons of them, because I've got a deep voice. And so I always get cast as those guys who either don't want to be involved in the show or aren't happy with anybody who's there. So it ends up where I do come in and I'm always like the guy who doesn't say a whole lot. And I've gotten really good at it, and it's definitely a challenge, and I would never turn my nose up at any character, but it's crazy. I would love to get, the more lines you have, like, the more you get to come up here, which is always more fun.
Well, and I always get the character that is strong and brave and a little bit weird, and he inspires the actual hero of the show, and then he gets killed. It's pretty much third episode, he's dead, and then you remember him for the rest of the show, and then they
bring you back in for that flashback.
Yeah, I was gonna say they probably flash back to him a bunch.
I've had a couple where actually the guys come back as a flashback when they're explaining like a sum up of the show, and they're like, "Well, aren't you dead?"
Yeah,
he's like, "Hey, we don't care about story continuity. Let's keep going."
This is like anime. This is anime, so typically in the last episode, don't you normally come back in spirit form and give them a thumbs up or whatever?
I've done that, but actually they cast me as another character. I've been cast as another character that looks just like the other one, and he gets killed too. So it's that I was the guy who died a lot.
All right. One of the things we just kind of passed over a little bit, they'll come back to it later, and this is pretty much one of the key elements. And one of the other reasons I picked this episode is it shows kind of the other layer of One Piece that you don't always find in not just anime, but cartoons, and especially ones kind of geared more towards kids and, you know, the fighting adventure genre. Is it kind of gets into the One Piece, like, Zen, you know, sort of aspect. They'll touch up again with Zoro as a small child learning from his teacher, who is played by Chuck Huber, kind of just a lesson that he doesn't really pick up then, he doesn't understand, where his teacher's telling him there are swordsmen out there who can, you know, cut nothing and cut anything, and he doesn't quite get the relevance as a kid. And then later, you know, obviously when he's adult and in this fight, he remembers that and is able to draw upon that. And it's just one of those, you know, life lessons you learn that, you know, all these times when your parents, teachers, whatever, have been telling you all these things, they may not seem relevant then, but eventually as you go, you know, further in life, you kind of reflect back on things and learn on it. I like the fact that One Piece, being the cartoon, you know, puts those little lessons in there. It's not quite, you know, G.I. Joe at the very end just tacking it on to make it seem, hey, you've been watching all this violence, whatever. Here's a little lesson so, you know, your parents aren't totally upset you wasted the last half hour just watching pointless violence. They kind of interlay, you know, multiple layers in this show, you know, teaching you friendship, honor, loyalty, you know, all these things. Have you guys come across other stuff like that? Like, not necessarily in this show, but just in your voice acting experience, stuff you can draw on?
There's a lot, because of the characters that I played, there is a lot that he teaches the lesson to the hero, and then the hero goes on to, you know, remember that stuff that's happened before. And I mean, I've seen plenty of shows that have done that. I'm always very happy to see that, where it's like, oh, look, there's a point to this. Excellent.
Yeah, I like what you had just said about One Piece, because it really does. Every character in this, or, you know, every character has his own little personal story, and it's interesting to watch them all. It's interesting to watch them all grow, because this is, every time Zoro has a major encounter like this, he learns some sort of new art or some sort of new style of fighting or something that helps him become the greatest swordsman, which is his ultimate goal. And this was definitely one of the darkest episodes of all the episodes I had played so far. And honestly, when I was recording this, I'm not sure if I asked or not, but I remember when I first heard you on this, I had no idea this was you, Brett.
Yay! Well, and I didn't know it was you until I came in. I'm like, why am I recording with Chris? And they said, well, because he was Zoro. I'm like, oh, awesome. That's great. Like I said, we don't record at the same time, so a lot of times you just don't know.
Yeah, and it depends on, you know, where you fall in the kind of the recording schedule. Is there are advantages and disadvantages of being like the first person to record, where you get to kind of set the tone, but you also don't have other people to play off of. Which kind of brings me to my next question. Do you guys prefer recording first, or do you like being the last person in and being able to play off everybody?
It really depends on what the show is. I've done some where it's, if you record first, a lot of the times that helps set the tone for the other actors so that they can play off of that. But sometimes, especially I'll admit from an ego point of view, that when it comes to humor, I usually like to go last, because then a lot of the time you can add, just if the one person's trying to be funny and maybe it's a rival of yours, you can just kind of just be a little bit funnier.
Get that last word in.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's actually hard to be. It's a lot harder to go first, in my opinion. Like because you have nothing to play off of. It's just kind of you feel like you're talking sort of in a booth, which is, I mean, it makes it a lot more like what it is. But when I love going last, because when you go last, it's like the whole thing is there, and you get to put that final little piece in the puzzle, and you can add little reactions and things to help fill the scene together, or you really feel like you're putting the whole show together with that last little part.
Oh, by the way, I just want to add that my wife really digs One Piece, and Zoro is her favorite character.
Yes.
And when I came home after recording this and said, "Oh yeah, I got to kick his butt," she was kind of mad at me for a couple of days.
Ooh, I can understand.
She's like, "That's my favorite character." I'm like, I play the gig that they give me. And she's like, "Just go away." So,
you were talking about this whole Zen thing too, Scott, and you were asking about other shows. It's kind of interesting that the only other epic show that I've really been involved in is DBZ.
Right.
And there is some sort of connection in Japanese storytelling where the closer you are to death and come back, the stronger you've become. It's like you have to hit sort of a rock bottom before you can bounce back and be something greater. And this is another one of those instances, just like, Vegeta's fight with Frieza, where he comes back even stronger. And it's crazy that they parallel each other in such a way.
Now I hadn't really thought of it, but now that you mention it, and your characters especially kind of do that. As we see Zoro here, he's just been crushed 2 or 3 times by buildings in this episode alone, or columns, or as he said, he's having
or blood loss. I mean,
oh yeah. I mean, I don't think I've seen so much blood loss in 4 episodes of One Piece as we have in this one.
Yeah, this is like Dexter blood loss.
Yeah.
And he just keeps getting up.
I was thinking Evil Dead myself,
but here is, like I was kind of mentioning before, him kind of applying that, and in the One Piece world, being able to draw in kind of just a Zen feeling about this, on how everything has its own energy. He's able to sense his sword underneath that rock. He's about to, be able to slice across some leaves without cutting anything. And ultimately, unfortunately for Brett and his character, he's able to slice through steel. And as he's, basically proclaimed earlier, it's like, it's too bad that, the minute I get to slice through steel is the minute you die. It's his progression, and it's so quick in this episode, but it's also just paced out, and we get to see that progress through the flashbacks and through these mental lines. I just really like the delivery here.
So do you think that Mr. One knows how to do that as well? Or because he's able to slice through a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and applying physics, the hardest object in the world can still cut itself. I'm sure he can. It's just I don't think he has that higher thinking about it that Zoro is kind of coming into right now.
He's no Jedi.
No.
What the hell did you do? After a vicious attack like
I do like that.
Some pretty lengthy fingers you got there.
Yeah, it's got some freaky arms
a little crazy
going on.
the
Well, just
fingers.
looking at, he looks insanely tall.
And he has like one of the smallest heads ever.
Yes.
I shouldn't be dogging my own character, but like,
Well, look how big his neck
Sure,
is.
yeah.
Big necks.
Yeah, he's bulked up his neck
But
so
he's
much.
got cankles too. I bet you.
Don't tell your wife that.
So here's one of the big moments, being able to just cut across leaves, nothing, cut through stone, no problem.
I love the silence that they use in these shows is in One Piece is really well placed. Like they know how to be wacky, and the greatest thing about One Piece is that there's so much unbridled enthusiasm in this show. Like everybody is genuinely excited to be doing everything that they're doing, and even if they don't agree with one another, they may have their arguments, but they absolutely love being on this journey together. But then when it gets serious, like all the wackiness goes away, and it's so silent and so so cool.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a little bit of ambient noise there. I love the just complete black background, no
Like
distractions.
this.
It's completely focused.
Although I have joked, like Zoro's attack names are sometimes a little bit silly because you can kind of make them out of anything. Sometimes they'll go like 24-hour Benadryl. You know, like they're always so out there. Sorry, Benadryl. That's probably copyrighted.
Yeah.
Oh, Brett.
You killed me. You jerk.
I don't know how, but he learned how to do it. Just like he said he would.
I like this point in the commentaries where you actually do start watching.
We were actually, everybody's all just taking. It happens about once per
well.
commentary. Like, everybody just gets so focused on the show that, like, oh, wait, we're supposed to be talking.
Like,
People are
aren't you
actually
supposed to be
listening.
dead yet?
I don't know.
It's good that we have these commentaries sometimes because we don't always have a chance to sit down and really watch this stuff. We're always so busy working on it. It's nice to sit down and kind of relax and watch what you did.
I like this. Winner, Zoro.
Oh, dear mom, really bloody.
Killed a dude today.
I lost a lot of blood. Send cookies and
Ken.
juice. All right, and with that to be continued, I'd like to thank Chris and Brett for coming in and spending some time with us.
It's been great being in the booth.
Yeah, me too.
Definitely stay tuned for the big up-and-coming ending to the Arabasta Alabarna arc with coming up, the big fight, Crocodile versus Luffy.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks. Take care.
Bye.
Hi, this is Jason Grande.
Hello,
Director
Grande.
of One Piece. This is commentary for episode 140. And I have Colleen with me.
Hello, this is Colleen Clinkenberg.
And Vic Mignogna.
Hello, everybody in One Piece world.
Yes.
Oh, I would like to extract a promise from Jason Grundy that he's not going to sound like that the whole commentary, because I might have to punch him in the face.
Changes around.
All right, so I play Monkey D. Luffy. What do you do, Vic?
Oh, I just stepped into this room because I heard there was free drinks in here. No, actually, in this episode, I got to do something that's so much fun. I play 3 different characters. I'm playing Mayor Wetton in the episode we're about to watch, but then I'm also playing young Wetton as a young man, and then I'm playing Lake, who is Mayor Wetton's grandson.
Yep.
That's fun.
Punk ass. He's a bad kid. He's a punk.
Everyone, because there's all this time travel, multi-universe thing going on in this little arc, everyone keeps mentioning how much Lake resembled young Wetton. So I decided to kill 2 birds with 1 stone there.
Yeah, it'd be hard to come
It
up
was
with more
fun.
actors. Plus, it's totally cool that you're singing right now.
I know that's so weird.
That was one thing I was going to bring up. How much fun did you have doing this opening?
Oh, I love these songs. You know, when Mike asked me to do the first one, this was the first one I did. And then we did A to Z, and then we did We Are, but this is like my favorite one. This is the first theme that I've ever gotten to sing for an anime series, and I loved it.
It's so happy. I just wanted to sing along.
Yeah, I remember Lucy talking and commenting about how it makes her dance.
Yeah.
Well, we'd like to see some surveillance video of that.
And there's one of Vic's characters.
Oh, and this is when he's wearing the really wacky outfit.
Yeah.
Oh, is that why you're all doubled?
The shock suit.
Aha. That was Brina Palencia playing Chopper. She is brilliant.
So how much fun have you had playing Luffy?
Oh my gosh. It kind of has, it's become more and more fun as I've gone along, because when I first started out, and that was in, what, season 3? Did we start in season 3? When I first started out, I was just terrified because I'd never done really a boy voice for any extended period of time before. It hurt because it was all fighting stuff and I wasn't used to it yet. Mike and I were both so paranoid about making it fairly close to the Japanese and making sure that we set the voice up right for the rest of the series, so we were very stressed out for the first little bit, and it was fun, but I was still stressed out. And then as it's gone along, I've gotten really comfortable with his voice. I can slip into it easily. It doesn't hurt me as much. So I just am getting to enjoy his humor.
Like that. He's a lot funnier now than he used to be, in my mind.
I remember you weren't too happy with his humor to begin with.
Right. I guess
Yeah.
because I didn't know how to do it yet. Or I didn't know if it was funny, so I wasn't
Yeah.
confident in it.
Oh, it was funny. The dollar. That was back in the dollar
The
days.
dollar. Where's my dollar? Do we have to describe that inside joke now? 'Cause I really
no. Let's
don't
leave
want
it
to.
there.
Come to a convention and ask me about the dollar. Ha!
Bring it. You know, speaking of conventions, a fun Luffy moment was when Colleen and I were at an event together, and somebody showed up with some helium balloons and wanted us to do lines. She did some Luffy lines with helium, and it was an extra special moment in One Piece history. But she's awesome. You are awesome in this
Aw,
character. I
thank you.
love
Yeah,
love
totally.
what you've done with Luffy.
Thank you.
Oh, these are the ghost pirates.
I love this show so much.
Luffy really wants to find some ghost captains.
How about you? Have you enjoyed directing the show?
Oh yeah, I've enjoyed it a lot. I think I really like the weird random one-offs though. Like the episodes back at Gaimon's Island with all the weird wacky animals and stuff,
Yeah.
and those just the one wacky little one-off guys I find really fun.
The filler arcs?
Yeah.
Those are your favorite? Probably because you don't have time to get tired of it.
Yeah.
You don't
it's
have time to be like,
then when
okay,
you-
move on.
When you get to the story, it's like, oh yeah. No, it's all been good though. It's always fun.
What's your is that your favorite arc?
Which one?
The one with the animals?
That's not an arc. That's one episode.
Well, okay.
They go to his island twice. He's in 2 episodes.
What's your favorite arc?
All the Anaru stuff is really fun because it was still really new back then. But I because it's so wacky, I think I liked the dragon arc with the big guy that Ray Gustop played because it came out so strange, and
Yeah.
Kenny Green did a great job as another villain in that one too, and that was just a fun little set of episodes. And that one was different in that I got to do the entire thing. It was the only arc that I did the entire arc of that.
So you got to see it all the way through
Yeah.
to the end. That makes a difference.
This little arc is interesting to me too because right when we very first started the show, like our very first day, I asked Mike, I was like, but what happened right before this? And we started in season 3, and he's like, oh, they fell out of another dimension and they landed here. And I took that as he didn't want to explain it to me, and he was making crap up. And I was like, okay. And then I was watching these episodes to get ready to direct them, and I was like, that is
fall
totally
out of
what
a
happened.
dimension.
Fell out of another dimension.
That's some of my favorite stuff. Like the backstory. If you don't know the backstory, you haven't seen it, you just hear like the short version of it, the Cliff's Notes version of it. It's hysterical. Like how Luffy shows up in a barrel.
Yeah.
That's Luffy's backstory.
Hey, I'm here.
I'm here. I came in a barrel. I mean, granted, we have a story from before that, but have we seen how he got into the barrel?
Not that I know.
No, it's just he's in a barrel.
He just shows up in a barrel. There's a cruise ship, I think, that fishes this barrel out of the ocean. And he breaks out of the barrel.
Hello!
The start of show!
And begin.
Welcome to my show.
Roll the theme song. Maybe that'll be a prequel One Piece. Maybe there'll be a prequel series.
Yeah. So what'd you think about playing the 3 characters in this little set, Vic?
That's just the favorite thing. You know, it's so much fun to get to do something like that. So many voice actors love to get the chance to use a variety, to spread out, you know, and do characters that aren't typically their natural voice. I'm sure you do, right? You love doing things
absolutely.
that don't sound like you. And it's usually short little one episode characters that pop up. But to get to the ultimate is to get to play scenes with yourself. Like to play characters that are actually talking to each other, and to try the challenge of trying to keep them separate and sound like 2 different people that are talking to each other.
Yeah.
And when we put this one together and we'll go back and listen to the dialogue back and forth, it was so much fun. It was
Yeah.
such a blast to do.
Yeah, Old Wetton did abuse Lake quite a bit. There were several little scenes of that.
I love Old Wetton. He reminds me of like who's the oh my gosh. What's the guy that sells all the stuff? the sales guy.
Billy Mays?
Yeah, sorry. Is it too soon? He kind of reminds me of like a heavy Billy Mays. I don't know what it is. Like Billy went off. He didn't really. He's off, retired on this island in this beautiful, fabulous make-believe world, and he's hawking stuff. And,
I haven't got to see any of your work in this.
It's coming up.
I recorded before him on all this, I think. So,
Well,
in fact, did I record before everybody? Because none of this sounds familiar.
You might have.
Who's that guy?
I don't
What's
know.
that?
That's
what
Patton.
happens there?
That's Chris Patton playing Rapa Nui. This was a really hard one to cast. I had a lot of dispute on who to cast and all this because I had to have everyone as a child and then as an adult.
Right. So, do you
All the
cast two
people.
different people, or do you use somebody who can do both the child
Yeah.
and the adult?
So there was a lot of instances of both.
Yeah.
So it just had to go down that way. And so Patton is Rapa Nui and Pask. Pask is his adult name.
Ah, okay.
And the entire arc starts off very mysterious, and Pask is about to shoot down the boat, and then accidentally sinks one of his own ships, and we don't find out what's going on until the end, and it's all this very strange, convoluted time travel thing that all works out really nicely. It's pretty interesting. I liked it.
Sweet. Although I am sad about the friends that grew up separately.
Yeah.
Like, that's a long time to be apart.
But then at the end, also they're finally reunited at the same age.
Yeah.
And it's all happy, and then they leave. And it's like, really? Okay. And it was also funny at the to see the progression of all the characters as we've been working on the show through the years. At the end, the last episode of this little arc, at the very end, is the very first scene we ever did. And so some of the dialogue has been pulled from that first episode, and some of it just, the animation was different and it had to be redone. But it was interesting to see that progression in all the Straw Hats and how the voices settled and where everyone went to.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. That's a good point to make, Jason. Is that sometimes even when they do flashbacks in anime series, the animation is different. The length of some of the lines are different, and so you can't always just take exactly the same line that you recorded from that scene and drop it in. Sometimes they just, for whatever reason, they animate them differently, and so it requires a new recording.
Yeah.
And you want it to seem the same and feel the same, so that the viewer's like, oh yeah, I remember that moment, but yet it fits the new animation.
Yeah.
I was so terrified about that, like of the meeting in the middle.
Yeah.
Of when I get there, will my voice sound completely
Yes.
different than when I started?
Yours was pretty close.
Pretty close,
Yeah.
was it? Sweet.
The real culprit ended up being Sanji, I think.
Really?
Settled into a more comfortable
Yeah.
place.
Yeah. Everyone else was pretty spot on.
Which is funny because his is the voice that's the least character-y. Or maybe that's it. Like, it's not as distinctive of a voice,
Yeah.
so nobody realizes when it's changing.
I think it might have started a little more character-y and it kind of whittled its way out of there.
Right. He does a great job with that character, though.
Yeah.
Now, and the funny thing about the two characters here that are the same age, young Wetton and Lake, they sound the same, but their personalities are very different.
Yeah.
So that's the way they're differentiated. They look the same and they sound the same, but I guess Lake is the spoiled, rotten brat.
Yeah.
So.
And I definitely wanted to differentiate them that way because Wetton was a seasoned, hardened pirate and was a badass and everything, and Lake has never had to do anything in his life.
Yes.
I think people don't realize how much of a difference attitude makes and that it's not always pitch. I mean, just taking, for example, two of your popular characters, Fi in Tsubasa and Ed in Full Metal Alchemist, they're in the same range. It's not like the pitch is that different.
Yeah.
It's a completely different attitude.
Yeah, it's a completely different personality.
Yeah.
And I don't want to mean to repeat myself, but at conventions a lot of times when we talk about this, the example that I use with the fans is, you've seen Robert De Niro in a million movies, but he always sounds like Robert De Niro. No matter what character he plays, so his goal is not to change the voice. His goal is to play the character as authentically as he can.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we've all played characters that if you were to pull a line from this character and that character and put them back to back, like, wow, that's the same person.
Sure.
But when you watch the story and
Yeah.
the character, it's the character's personality and the attitude that makes them different.
Yeah. This is where we see young Wedden. It was pretty good, even just watching the progression of that axe. That axe was seen in several places during time. And it eventually turned into a cane for old Wedden.
Yeah, he was a bad guy. That's right.
Sorry, I'm being quiet because I want to hear you.
Now what's this? Some children who aren't smart enough to run away from here.
We gave him a little bit of growl, a little bit of gruffness, and when you see old Wedden,
Yeah, it's good.
you'll see how that progresses.
Yeah, see, everyone in the scene had to be cast as two different characters. All those kids were all shown as adults. And so this was a very complicated little
Yeah,
arc.
that's a nightmare casting. Funny though.
Makes for great comedy.
As long as I don't have to cast it, it's funny that it's happening.
Let's see. Leo was the kind of bigger guy.
The bigger guy.
Your friend that lives in LA now. What's her name?
I don't know,
I
sweetie.
don't remember. Yeah. Well, she was able to do her grown. The girl in this scene was able to do the little girl and the grown woman. Laura Bailey.
You couldn't think of Laura Bailey's name?
I can't remember anyone's name. I'm horrible with names.
Laura Bailey only worked for us for 10 years?
And then most of the other kids, besides Chris Patton did his old and his young version. Most of the other ones had to be girls doing the little boys, and then men doing the old versions.
Ooh, scary axe. I like those tats. Are you going to get those tattooed?
I have those, actually.
Awesome.
I like his sandals. He has spiked sandals.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh, you do. These are tough kids.
Yeah.
It's very case closed feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, they seem a lot older than they are.
Well, they've been alive for quite some time, haven't they? Or
Yeah.
are we not in that
Not
world
at this
yet?
point.
Okay.
But which do you think was your favorite one, Vic?
I'll be honest with you. I liked Old Wetton. I liked Mayor Wetton. And I'll be interested in seeing what Colleen thinks when he shows up.
Yeah.
Are we going to see him this?
Mostly
this
because...
We're going to see a little of it.
Because he's the least like me. He's the least like my natural voice. And I love that.
Him or
No,
No,
there's
this
an
is
old
young
guy.
Wetton. I like when old Wetton would change behind the curtain.
It's very Wizard of Oz.
And this was Ian's pirate. I cast Ian Sinclair as this guy because his name is Ian.
That's a detailed reason.
And he's the appropriate age and voice range. I've been using Ian a lot more recently for things, and I'm really happy with a lot of work I've been getting out of Ian.
Yeah, Ian has come a long way, I think.
And here's where they get separated.
So sad.
Oh.
Tetanus.
How many episodes does this arc go across?
I think it was about 5.
It's a nice short little arc. My favorite arcs are the arcs where I don't have to scream much. Like the arcs where Luffy spends the entire time looking for food. Those are the best arcs in the world.
Amen to no screaming.
Because that means he just gets to be funny, which is my favorite part
Yeah.
anyway. And he doesn't have to climb a vine for 3 episodes. Which
Oh,
PS
you love that
sucked.
vine. You love that
I
vine.
hated that vine.
With the
That is
gold ball on your
only-
hand.
That is the only part of One Piece that I actually hated. Because I was climbing that stupid vine in a freaking motorboat thing with a ball of gold on my hand, yelling at Enaru for 3 episodes.
Well, there they got
Because
separated.
I keep climbing it and falling down, and
You're
climbing
kidding.
it and falling down. And every time I fell, I had to scream.
gosh.
And every time I climbed, I had to scream. And then I got to the top and had to stupid fight him.
You know what you should do? You should just like make a folder of Luffy screams.
Oh, they're somewhere.
I mean, there are like so many. You know, they did that with Broly. Did you know that? I didn't even know this. On one of the Dragon Ball Z games, there's an extra feature that you can click on. And for like 5 minutes, it's him yelling Kakarot, Kakarot, Kakarot.
That's
Every
funny.
different way we've done it for how long?
That's
And it's
really
like-
funny.
Yeah, and after you do something like this for so long, you develop this huge, like, you know, like a library
Yeah.
of all short ones and
Scream
loud
bank.
ones. And
I still have a little bit of resentment toward Michael Tatum for being Enaru.
What have been some of your favorite Luffy moments?
When he was walking around looking for the raw ham melon, I really liked that. When he
remember
really
that.
wanted to see a goat,
Yeah.
I was a huge fan of
What was
that.
the little song during that?
I am not singing the song.
on.
You can sing the song. You know the song. You sing it all the time when I'm recording.
Oh, the islands in the north are snowy, and their heads get really cold. They're very chilly-willy, they're very willy-nilly, and they're morons!
that was beautiful.
There's another part to it, but I'll leave it out.
Okay, so this is Lake, right?
Here's Lake now, in his shock suit. Oh, and here's another little nod to Pask. Pask, this entire time, hiding in the shadows, helping out the Straw Hats. And we never see him really doing much, but he's in the shadows, making sure they get their job done.
It wasn't us.
Shouldn't he know that? He was watching us. With that suit on, we're not trying to make him mad.
Tell me now, was it you who did this? And what if we say it was? You're just picking it up? All right then. I've collected your harbor taxes. Now that you all have paid, I formally welcome you here to the town of Lulika.
And
Yeah.
then now they're fine. Their taxes are paid.
Apes concert, that's right. Some of our soldiers reported that they saw your ship entering the rainbow mist. There's no doubt about it. According to what the mayor says, there's all sorts of treasure piled up in there.
Where's
People also
Mayor
say
Wet?
that Apes concert is a
Does he show up?
He does show up in this episode. Do we see him already?
No, we haven't seen him yet.
He's listed
Oh, this
as
is not
being
the
here.
old guy. This
No,
is
this is
the grandson.
You're all over the place.
scientist named Henzo researching a way to get into Apes concert.
There's not much. It was rough to find because the only young one's only in the one episode, so I had to try and find a good split.
Me or does he talk a lot?
He does. It's almost like he's still trying to punish us for not paying.
We can't just stand still here.
I love Nami's determination to go steal all the treasure.
I like all the songs. I like it when the 3 of them will break into songs with their arms around each other. Sanji and Luffy and Usopp singing about whatever.
Grandpa! You idiot!
Did he say grandpa?
How many times have I had to tell you, Lake? You're not to address me as Grandpa. Do you understand that? I'm to be called Mayor Wetton.
Ah, yay!
Wait, to be continued.
I'm glad I got to hear it. Very well done.
I like when he gets in. When they start, he tries to be all cool, and then when his grandpa shows up, "But Grandpa," you know, he gets one of those moaning, whiny little brats. You know,
Shut up!
And he hits him. You're like, "Ow, Gramps!"
All right, we gotta sign out.
Do we really?
This one runs through the closing.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
How long is the closing?
Well, good.
Oh,
Let's
look
talk
at
about that for the whole time.
Is this Caitlin's closing?
Let's see. I'll count. 1,
Tap,
2,
tap.
3, 4.
Oh, you don't want to listen to
5.
Caitlin's closing.
Is this her?
Oh, this Caitlin?
I could be wrong.
That's not
I
Caitlin.
don't think that's her.
I forget that girl's name.
That's a pretty voice.
Look,
Yeah.
To Vic.
this was for me.
For you.
Thank you.
I was wish my voice sounded like that. I guess I wouldn't be Luffy if my voice
I
sounded
wonder
like
who that is.
Then you'd be.
Christine something or other, maybe?
Is it Christine, you think?
Might be.
Well, we get to hear Colleen say "King of the Pirates" soon.
You want to know how many times I've said that? What episode are we on?
That's my ringer on my phone when you call.
Oh, seriously?
I think it's been said at least 210 times now.
Wow. Yikes.
Talk about a bank. Could just pull
Yeah,
that.
really.
Well,
I'm
it's
sure
nice
you've
talking
actually
to you
said it
guys. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
This is the first, this first commentary I've gotten to do with you guys. So
Yeah.
thanks
Well, it was fun.
Thanks for letting me join you.
Bye.